Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Stay ahead of the curve with your commute. ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is making great progress. That means better travel times, safer commutes, plus easier access to work, schools, retail, and Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Want to stay informed about upcoming closures and construction traffic? Good news, you can get real-time updates on the app, available at i10broadwaycurve.com. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Real Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or...
This is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil, the fill-in here, and by the way, one of these days you'll have to tell me how I'm supposed to actually introduce you. I don't even know your last name. I mean, I might have heard it once, but anyway, and way to be prepared with the headphones. Man, you are on top of things today, aren't you?
I just wanted to make sure before I responded, I could hear you going forward. My last name, it's pronounced Hudden Sexy with the appropriate accent.
Hudden Sexy. Yeah, I'm just going to be Phil, Filthy Phil now. I was going to stop calling you Filthy Phil out of respect, but now I'm not saying your actual name.
Once again, I've lost all respect to myself. I regret this.
It only took under a minute of the show to do that, too, which is a record.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a new record, Randy.
Hudden Sexy.
T-Licious says, nice bounce back win, Diamondbacks, but where were you versus the damn Cardinals? Couldn't you win at least once? Huh? Yeah, happy Monday or Tuesday or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I know, T-Licious. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. First, how was everybody's 3-day holiday? I'm sure there was a lot of grilling that went on. Randy, the grill master general, was it just wall-to-wall, back-to-back, day after day, just nonstop grilling?
No, I watched racing all day on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And yesterday I let my sister-in-law do she did the frying of the hamburgers and a standing rib roast, and then we swam in the swimming pool.
So your whole stance was, if anybody's getting fed, it's not by me. I'm watching the race.
Right. Oh, yeah. See, race day every year. I don't do a damn thing. I drive the recliner, and I have my remote control, and oh my God, I take a little nap here and there and get some snack foods, and that's it. I race all day long.
Your stick shift is the recliner stick.
Oh yeah, on occasion the feet go up and the eyes go shut.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tuned in right at the moment where there was 20 laps left in the Indy 500. So I got to sit there and just watch nothing happen except for when that one fella passed the other fella. There's
Oh,
one
yeah.
guy
Oh,
who's the Spaniard.
yeah.
Passes Marcus Erickson,
Mhm.
and everyone's like, "Woo, okay." And Alex Palou, I think is his name,
Yeah.
and then nothing else happened.
Pillow is his name, and
Sure.
and what there was amazing things that happened. Like for example, before the race even got going, the cars were in their pace lap, and Scotty McLaughlin was trying to warm up his tire, and they weave back and forth, and they try to warm
I've
the
seen that.
tires. And okay, well he did something stupid. He dropped it into second gear, which all the power went to the rear axle, and he lost control and nosed into the inside wall.
Oof.
And he didn't even get to race. So
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
then there was a fire in the pits. You didn't
Ooh.
see that. There was
No,
a
no,
damn
no.
fire broke out in the pits. Yeah, and one of the pit guys, it was burning up, and they had to put him out. Yeah.
Just what did he light a cigarette? And forgot, or
no.
what?
He was there was a fire on the car. It broke out, and then it somehow got over to the guy in the pit, and they were squirting him with fire extinguishers. Yeah, there was that, and then the guy that sat on the pole, the rookie. Yeah, well, he came in for a pit stop, and from some unknown reason, lost control of the car and knocked over most of his pit crew, injuring one of them.
Yikes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. See,
I
it
guess
nosed
I
it
missed
right
a
in.
lot.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you missed a lot. See, that's why you got to watch the whole thing, Jeff.
Well, I'd forgotten all about it, to be honest. I just
yeah.
happened to be like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Well,
Holy
that's why
crap! It's a race.
You rely on me to fill in the blanks for you.
Yeah,
I've done
no.
that,
Sounded
forever.
very
Yeah.
exciting there. So, was that your favorite race, or was the who won the other stuff?
Well, Monaco, Max Verstappen was leading the race.
It sounds like he maybe needs some
and,
antibiotics.
Maybe.
You got a little
And,
Verstappen going on there.
oh, he's got a Verstappen. There's an ointment for that. And
Phil, what ointment do you use for the Verstappen?
I use the Vergoen. No
Oh, okay.
Verstappen me.
we're going?
No Verstappen. It's all
yeah.
about the Vergoen.
I understand the Vergoen is outlawed in several states here in the U.S.
I'm just glad he didn't dance around and sing like they do on TV about the prescription he's taking.
No, the only singing he was doing was when they pulled him in on the final lap while he was leading. His team pulled him in for some reason. I think they wanted to change the tires, and he ended up losing the race. And the McLarens finished 1 and 2. That was at Monaco.
No, they didn't. Oh, in Monaco. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah.
Because there was a disqualification or getting chucked back to the beginning of the Marcus Erickson, the guy who got passed.
Yeah.
They're saying it's probably a good thing he did because they were going to have to take the trophy away from him if he won the race because
my gosh.
And 2 other cars failed the post-race inspection.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been all fined $100,000, and the team managers will have to serve a 1 race suspension. So what does that even mean? What about their cars would not pass inspection?
What are race car PEDs?
Well, they do a pre-race inspection and then they do a post-race inspection because, as we know, in racing, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hold on, Randy. So the pre-inspection, Phil, happens before the race.
Okay.
And the post-inspection happens after the race.
I hear there's a lot of clarity after that post.
Yeah, I forgot we had to explain that to him.
Well, what kind of stuff you think they found that caused them to be disqualified there? What kind of things can you do to the car or accidentally do to the car that would indicate maybe somebody cheating?
Well, I mean, any number of things. It could be the wings are not in regulation. They have the front spoilers and the rear spoilers. So those could be out of what they call specification. They could have had parts on the car that they shouldn't have had. There might be weight distribution problems where the car was heavier or lighter than it should have been. They could have loose that lug nut they put on there could be loose. That would be a disqualification for that.
That's a disqualification, like a safety issue, not as I'm trying to cheat issue.
I mean, any number of things they could find on the car. I didn't read the report, so I'm not up to speed on that. But
maybe they had a hamster in there, like Mad Max Fury Road
could
style,
have a
just
hamster,
spitting gasoline into the
rodents.
engine.
Yeah, no rodents allowed on the track in the car at any time. Yeah.
Well, okay, so that was that race, and then you were talking about Monaco, and there was another one too, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, there was a Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is one of my favorite races of all year. You can't get past a lot of fun in Charlotte. The week prior to the Coke 600, all the NASCAR teams, well, most of them except for two or three, are they're all housed or headquartered there in and around the Charlotte, North Carolina area. It's several different cities. You drive a half hour this way, you can find a shop. Drive a half hour this way, you could find a shop, and you get to tour that, and it's all cool. But what they do in the week leading up to the Coke 600 is they have open houses at the shops, so fans can go in and go to places in the shops you don't generally get to go. So into the wrap room where they wrap the cars. They used to paint them. Now they wrap them with these giant wraps, or the suspension room where they're setting up the suspension, and they've got people there that are explaining the process. The engine room where they work and tune the engines for racing cars. Building the cars, which are essentially building these giant model kits, if you will. They're shipped in, and the guys put them all together, and then so it's a lot of fun. And the teams really open up and are very friendly. Drivers are there signing autographs. You get to meet all kinds of different people in the race teams that you don't normally get close to. So it's open house. It's a lot of fun. And then when the race comes around, it's a very patriotic thing there. They really honor the fallen. They have in the middle of the race, they stop the race and they have a moment of silence for all those who have given their lives in the defense of this great country. And they stop it, and you can hear a pin drop. It is absolutely silent. I always love that part of the race. One of the things I've never seen before, Jeffrey, at the Coke 600, a couple of Black Hawk helicopters from a special ops aviation division came in, and it was a total surprise to me. I didn't know anything about it. But as the cars are on the track doing the warm up, going around, and they get in their formations there side by side, and they have the pace car in front. Well, these Blackhawks just got right above them, about maybe 20 feet above them, and went around the track with them. I'm still thinking about it right now. It's giving me chill bumps. But these Blackhawks went around the track right above the cars. Oof. It was so cool. And then they broke off. They kind of split off and went their own way, and they got the race going. It was really cool. That cool.
Sounds dangerous because, in Malaysia, they just had a couple of helicopters crash into each other, practicing for some sort of royal display or some sort of exhibition, and like 10 people died. So now you've got Blackhawks following cars around the track. Now there's people in the stands. So many things could go wrong there.
Well, a lot of things could go wrong, but these are the elite Blackhawks guys. These are special ops aviation division. And I think it was very, very, very cool. And it really meant a lot, I'm sure, to military families. And, NASCAR, on each car, they have a name of a fallen soldier. And it could be Vietnam. It could be Desert Storm. It could be, the most recent situations around the world where our soldiers are in peril and pay the ultimate price. They have their names on these cars, and their families are involved with that race team and that car. They're there on race day. They get to be in the pits. They can be a part of what's going on. So it's very cool. NASCAR really pays a lot of attention on Memorial Day on the Coke 600, and they really try to honor America and honor the military and the fallen heroes of our military. So very cool.
Berg says, it's the A team. Oh, wait, damn it. Suck it, Phil.
Welcome.
So I guess it's the A- team, he says.
Oh, the A-. You know what? That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Firefarter says, Donnie.
Uh-oh.
Donnie boy, the pipes are calling.
Oh, boy.
He says, am I mistaken here? Or are the Timberwolves down 3-1? We've checked our records. We've had the accounting department make sure and run the numbers to be correct. And yes, I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm happy because I know the tears of Donnie are delicious. But then, Chief Skull and Chosen One, these a bunch of other guys that, I kind of feel bad for. But no, Firefighter, you got that right. Slow Mo Zoe, you also got that right. Dimeback Dude says, good thing there was no show yesterday because I would have been in some serious mourning after the Diamondbacks got swept by the Cardinals. Fell below 500 for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little, it's still too early to be worried. I mean,
Is it?
Is it? I think it might be.
It is still too early to worry about this.
Every
Very
game
early.
matters, but
Yeah, you're right.
that didn't
Every
feel
game-
good.
One of the things I'm bothered about is I read an article with Mike Hazen, and if you read this article, it's at MLB.com. He was talking about all things Diamondbacks, and some of the things he was saying. When we talk about the Diamondbacks, I'll be glad to share this with you. But some of the things he was saying baffled me. I am very confused at some of the things that he says. So,
Well, we can talk about it right now. There's nothing to stop us. We
Oh,
are.
well, all right, all right, all right.
Hold
I
on.
was gonna try to pull this up.
Hold
here.
on, hold
Yeah.
I gotta post this on Twitter, and
Yeah.
it's perfect timing of the picture. Donnie took a picture of us on the YouTube live screen
Mm-hmm.
and him flipping the bird at us. But Phil's face right at that moment looks like Phil can see it, and he's that's actually. I'm going to put that on Twitter.
That's
I enjoyed that. So you guys can see it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Randy. Yeah.
Well, I was reading this article, and for example, on the team's play, Mike Hazen feels that the team has had the ability to win every one of those games. Talking about the 0-5 skid that the team was on, they just came up short in those, and it was hard. He says it was hard to pin down onto any one thing. Well, I could pin it down. Your relief pitching sucks. How about that? How about your relief? Your bullpen absolutely reeks. How about that? How about Zach Gallen doesn't look normal and he got beat again? How about that? There's three things that I just gave you, Mike Hazen, that I could put my finger on and say, here's where the team needs to work on it. And Mike Hazen says it's hard to put your finger on any one thing about this team. He says on areas where we need to get better.
The guy who should know exactly what's going on with the team is saying, I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, well,
isn't your job supposed to be to have your finger on everything, so to speak? Sort of.
He says on areas that we need to get better. This is another scratch my head. He says here we need to perform more consistently in certain areas. While on the whole we've done a good job. Done a good job at what? Losing 5 games in a row. You've done a good job at that. I don't understand these comments. He says that they're at bats. They're not making pitchers work for it, starting pitchers. So he wants the team to wait until the pitchers get 2 strike. I disagree with that 110%. If you see a ball and you can drive it somewhere and you can score runs, drive the damn ball. Don't sit there and wait on 2 strikes on you. For the pitcher to throw 2 strikes on you, because other teams will eat you up by going up to 0-2 on you right away, and then you're in a hole. I do not agree with that philosophy. He says on a level of urgency, he says we have a long way to go in the season, but we don't have an infinite amount of time to go. It's not early. We're getting to June 1st. This is where you want to start to identify where your team is at. Where you want to start to identify where your team is at was when you broke spring training with the team, and you can start to see things happen in the first half, and you address those beginning around June 1st. You start making moves like I think Seattle made a move today. You start making moves to fix those. So, yeah, there is a level of urgency, Mike Hazen, on where this team needs to be. He's saying that A.J. Puck needs to come back because he's really the reliever. Well, the closer, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. A.J. Puck was getting hammered before he went on the IR or the IL or whatever they call it. He was getting beat to death. And, oh, by the way, you got your other guy back from the IL, and he got hammered the other day. So I'm flabbergasted at some of the things Mike Hazen said in this article about the Diamondbacks, kind of a state of the Diamondbacks a report, if you will, from Mike Hazen. I don't understand it. I mean, to me, it's clear as a bell. You ask me about it. It's your bullpen is killing you, and you can't you can't rely on anybody to come in and help you in a close game. Period. The end.
Yeah, I'm with you, Randy. And as far as like, I don't, to answer your earlier question, Jeffrey, I feel like the season is not far gone until you want to know when the season begins is when the Atlanta Braves have a winning record. When that happens is when it will be too far into the season, because we all knew. I know. Why am I bringing up the Atlanta Braves? Because they started in such a hole, and you know that they're going to be a good team, that by the time they actually catch up, you know that once they dig themselves out of that hole, that's when the season has actually begun. It's a backwards way of a logic of thinking, but it actually still applies. So since we have not reached that marker yet, it's still too early in the season to put dirt on the Diamondbacks. But being fourth in their own division, bad. Being that bad at starting pitching, very bad. The fact that they have such a great run differential at plus 42, it just goes to show you that they're beating up on bad teams that can't take advantage of their pitching woes. But those are too far in between. Whenever you're losing competitive games to the St. Louis Cardinals and getting swept in a series, I'm sorry, you're not looking for competitive losses. You're looking for competitive wins.
Well, I mean, the Diamondbacks. Let's look at the recent series against St. Louis. Two of the games, the Diamondbacks came back. They had the lead and they were unable to keep it. Now, what does that say to you, Jeffrey? That says you don't have any relief pitching, right?
And they did that with the Dodgers as well.
We've known we've had this issue for a while, and we keep hoping, well, maybe somebody will do something about it. You know, I think that Torey Lovello is just trying to count on offense to, his bats to get him out of pitching trouble, and it's just not happening.
Yep, I would agree with you 110%. I think the problem with this team right now is the bullpen, and there are some issues in starting pitching as well. And you leave the offense alone because the offense is one of the top offenses in baseball. I would leave it alone.
All right, listen, we need to take a break. I did go ahead and post that picture up on the X. By the way, my Twitter is once again Radio Pal 1580. And I realized Phil looks angry. And Randy looks like he's trying to reach out and grab the finger. And I'm just kind of looking down on it like, the hell is that all about? It's actually a perfectly timed picture if you zoom in on Donnie giving the Daily Blender the bird for mocking his team for being, let me check my records. Yep, still 3-1. You're still down 3-1, Donnie. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com. Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Rocky Top wants to know where Harris is today. Well, actually, Rocky Top, he's on vacation. Him and his family are on the next season of White Lotus. So be looking forward to that.
Do you think he'll be one of the families that makes it?
No. We got a lot of text on the text line to catch up with. Let's see what people say. Scratch Me Because says the rules of the Monaco Grand Prix require 2 pit stops, and Max Verstappen only had 1 going to the last lap. Monaco Grand Prix is the worst race of the season because it's impossible to pass anyone.
Well, it can be. Yeah, you've got to pick your places. There was a lot of passing going on that I was watching. Guys were going into corners late, but for Verstappen, what a terrible, terrible error on the team's part. That's not the driver issue. That's the team. The team is the one that control the pit stops. And if they waited until the last possible second for a second pit stop, that's on them. They cost Max and the team a Monaco championship. So,
well, the teams don't control a bunch of guys getting ran over. That's on the driver.
I mean, that's the driver. Yeah.
Quiet Cannon says, Randy, what's the typical engine that they put into an Indy car?
Well, the Indy car is changing. It's evolving. And I've seen it's more of a hybrid engine now. There's an electrical component and a combustion component. Back in the days, they used to be, 8-cylinder, fuel injected, highly tuned race engines. And they would run those. So I'm not 100% sure now if they're 8-cylinder or 6-cylinder with the electrical component or not. I'm not up to speed on that right now. I could look it up and find out for you.
Moist One on the text line already has fired off 3 texts we can't read.
That's a
well, I
record.
guess I can say that he'd love to give you a nice foot massage on race day.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, it may sound dangerous to you. Don't forget, it's NASCAR. Their motto is hold my beer. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
On 2863. Why doesn't 2863 have a text?
It's been a while.
Needs
Yes,
to have
I
it.
think you gave him a grace day, and then I think events happened, and so it's been pushed far off into the distance. But it's high time.
Yeah, I think we were supposed to give him a texture nickname, or he wanted a certain texture nickname. And then we were like, well, there was something that we needed him to do, or, actually, as I scroll through here, I don't see anything. So no, I ain't going to read his text. So that's the thing. I don't know. Which version am I? Am I the hard ass? It's like, no, at a certain point, you've texted in so much, you must have a texture nickname. Or am I just a nice guy who just says like, okay, who gives a crap? If this guy doesn't have a texture nickname, whatever.
No, I think we need to enforce it. It gives identity. It gives a sense of community. Absolutely, we need it. We need a texter nick, even if it is. I don't care what my nickname is. Texts in. Let's do it.
Randy, what do you think?
I think they need it. Look, that's part of the show, and you can't just keep coming in with the last four numbers of your phone number. I mean, come on.
This is the first
program
time
here.
somebody has gone on. I guess this isn't the one I'm thinking of because they've been texting since May 12th. Now that's kind of a while, but it's not too long. But I think it's time. It is time.
It's
15 days
time.
later.
Yeah.
So 2863. I apologize. You're not the person I thought you were because I thought this had been going on for months. But you probably do need a text nickname. So I don't know. I'm trying to scroll to see if you had some ideas for a texture nickname, and we just didn't do it.
Yeah, no, the other one that you're thinking of did, but 2863 maybe not.
He does make a good point though. 2863 says no one ever told me I needed a texture nickname. I'm happy to take a name. All right, 2863.
Here's the drill.
We need to know a little bit about you.
Assume
Randy
the
has
position.
a selection of unused texture nicknames that you
Oh, yeah.
might choose from if you like the way they sound, or this is the only time and place in your entire life where you can just choose your nickname. If you're like, I want to be Fiery Red Rocket Man, whatever, that you've always wished you had, this is your moment. We'll give it to you as long as no one else is using it.
Within reason too.
Moist
One was had a few names that he filtered through before we got to Moist One.
No. Moist One's always been Moist One. You're thinking about Just the Tip.
Oh,
Just the Tip wanted to be far dirtier things.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so 2863, you go ahead and give it a shot. If you have no ideas, give us a little information about yourself that will help us to tailor, make, or find a name that would be just right for you. So sorry, I yelled at you. For someone else, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Lost Toby says Monaco race was so boring. Cars are too big.
Well, the cars are big, yes. They should be smaller. There should be a modified version of the F1 car, but I still find it. Look, they go from like a 0 to 180 in like 3 seconds. So, I mean, that's a lot of fun to watch. I don't care where you're from, and it's Monaco, which is an old traditional F1 race. The course has changed little over the past several years, and you see these guys battling for position. Yeah, you're right. You have to be on the pole to have an advantage to win. But that's not everything. Look, Max Verstappen finished. I don't know where he finished. He started in the 4th or 6th position. I can't remember what he qualified for. Ended up in the front at the end of the race. There's a lot of strategy involved. It's not just a bull in China shop racing. That's NASCAR. This is more of that finesse. You got to use strategy with your pit stops. You've got to have the right tires. You've got to, it's a thinking man's race. You know what I mean? So,
Phil, every time you try to suppress a yawn, you look like a ferret.
Yeah.
Your face goes, it stretches out. And then for 2 different times, Phil's just over there suppressing yawns.
Yeah. I'm not even, it's not,
he does not care about racing.
No, I've tried to go to stop it, but it's not even that I'm tired. I feel active and ready. I think I just need to breathe.
Well, you're not tired. It's just more that you're just bored.
No, I'm not.
You just don't like racing.
We've
you don't
bored
like
him to death.
No, what? I get it. If they want to be organic and put milk in the fuel card and run in a more organic way, far be it for me to stop them in Indy to go and make the cars run on 100%
in the fuel.
gasoline.
What?
So I did enjoy everybody booing Tom Brady.
Amen.
Yeah, I went out on I guess it was the first lap or the practice lap or something.
It's called the fastest lap with Jimmy Johnson was driving a
Sure.
2-seater Indy car.
Yeah, Indy fans didn't care for that much. Although he did tweet out a pretty good response. He said, "Hey, what a great experience, yada, yada, yada." At the end, he says, "P.S. It was great to get in one more successful drive in front of a bunch of Colts fans."
That's good.
That was pretty good. Got to admit that was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, Slow Mo Zoe says the rendition of America the Beautiful in the Star Spangled Banner was awesome.
In which race?
I think he's talking about the Indy. Yeah.
Indy? Yeah. Yeah, it was very good.
Bruno Baller says after playing 54 games, which is exactly 1/3 of the season, the Diamondbacks are 27-27.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great. It's
Well,
not like they can't
500 ball.
overcome it, but it's not great.
Yeah, they've
500
been flirting.
ball.
They've been flirting with 500 ball all season.
The last several seasons with Torey Lovella, this team has been a 500 team.
Diamondback dude says, I agree with Randy White. Bullpen is the biggest issue with this team. I read the article too, and Hazen was blaming the timely hitting, and I don't agree with that. It's the bullpen and Zach Gallen. Justin Martinez is not the answer either. He blew that game on Saturday.
Yeah, and he's not right. He just came off of the Justin Martinez is not right. I'm not saying that the texter is not right. The texter
That
is
boy is
right.
not wrong.
He's just coming off the IL, and he's not at full strength yet. And they bring him into a game. That's how desperate it seems like Torey Lovullo and this team are. And I just think it's too soon to be that desperate. Settle down a little bit. Quit trying to make the offense something it's not. Let the offense is an organic, moving and alive being. Leave it alone. Let it be. Focus on your starting pitching. Focus on your how you're using your bullpen, and focus on a closer role. And that's going to help this team more than anything else, I believe.
Big George is on the text line. Blah, 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 blah. Bless all the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces who sacrifice their lives for our freedoms. And yes, I caught the tail end of Randy's rant, but it was a rough weekend for the Diamondbacks. After winning the first Dodgers game, we lost 5 in a row after that.
Yep.
Thank goodness the Pirates are in town. At least they're a get-right team. Tomorrow will be tough, though. Paul Skeens on the mound.
Yeah, and Paul Skeens, unfortunately, boy, how would it be if the Diamondbacks could somehow move some sort of a trade for Paul Skeens?
They would never
to
give
come
him
over
up.
here? Oh my gosh! If we got Paul Skeens with this offense, it would be Dodgers suck it. That's
Every
what it
1
would
in
be,
4 days,
right
they
there.
might
Yeah.
actually win.
Slow Mo Zoe has a better idea. It's not a great idea, but it's a pretty great idea. I mean, it's an idea you can just kind of go either way with.
Okay,
and Slow Mo Zoe says, Trevor Bauer, anyone?
Oh,
Listen,
watch
I
him
wouldn't
throw is some college there, and you still got it.
I wouldn't have a problem with Trevor Bauer.
As
But
long
I
as
think
he's clean and clear,
I think Major League Baseball would have a problem with Trevor Bauer.
He's
So,
been blacklisted for sure.
for some reason, and I don't know why.
Because he's kinky.
Well,
he has a
he's-
specific kink.
I mean,
And he
maybe.
talked a lot of crap about Manfred. That's the main
and,
reason.
and there it is, right there. Yeah, he's
But-
an anti-Manfred guy.
But that specific kink really didn't help him.
Yeah.
Beer Bob says, hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. Smoked a brisket for 9 hours, paired with grilled corn on the cob, potato salad, and pasta salad. And he sent me a picture of it. Damn, that looks good. That does
Yeah.
look good.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done there, Beer Bob. Yeah, I grilled some chicken expertly. You know how I know it
Nice.
was really, really good?
It was all gone.
Yes. Well, first yesterday. Well, see, here's what happened. I grilled the chicken thighs, and I was like, and my wife made some pasta with some garlic sauce, and it was really good. But as I'm sitting there slicing it up to put it in the pasta, I was like, I'm like, oh my god, I wish we'd just be eating this as it is. This is really good. And there's a couple of them left. They didn't survive today. Her boy, he's going off to see the Kendrick Lamar concert later, so he had to get his strength up, and he ate all the leftovers. So that's how you know that's some good victuals right there. But yeah, that was some of the best chicken I think I've ever expertly grilled, Randy.
Congratulations, Jeffco. You feel good when you complete something and it's a good piece of meat.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what though, with a teenage boy around, I don't get leftovers very often.
No.
Which is good. It's better than leftovers going to waste. But man, I'll be like in the morning, like, ooh, and later on, I'm gonna have them chicken thighs. Oh, that's gonna be good. And like, oh no, I'm not. I guess I won't be.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the stuff it just disappears in the middle of the night, which
That
is
is true.
fine. Leftovers got to be eaten, so I'm all for it. 2863 says my nickname could be the LA Kid or Ralph's BFF. Are you Ralph's BFF? Unless
See,
you
I
actually
thought that
are.
was, I thought that was Neville.
That's Neville. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's Neville. He says, I'm a Dodger fan, a Laker fan, a Rams fan, a Kings fan, LA Galaxy fan, USC fan. I like Ralph too. How about we just name him Everything We Hate? Everything We Hate says. No, okay. I don't know what to do with this one,
What
Randy.
about
I don't want,
California Kid? If he wants LA Kid, what if we do California Kid?
well, California covers the entirety of the state.
Yes, and I know it's mostly LA, but at least it feels closer to go with Kid, because Raven Kid kind of already has the kid market. So I feel like you can't just go LA Kid, then we'll get a New York Kid eventually, and then eventually it'll be Iowa Kid whenever Caitlin Clark has one. So you know, we want to have our options open. So if you're going to be the next Kid, you gotta hit with something catchy.
Well, let me just say though, he does tick all the boxes for LA, being LA Kid.
What about LA Lover? LA
I kind
Lover
of prefer to say LA Kid. I don't feel like saying LA Lover.
says.
Yeah, I think LA Kid works. You got anything to add to that, Randy?
No, I mean, I could read from my list that I've written down here, but no.
Voice one says Ralph's mistress.
Yeah,
I don't hate that.
Well, see, I'd allow it, but they have to choose it. I can't just
that's true,
impose my will here. Right. Prison Wallet says, how about SoCal Douche? Probably fits. Slow Mo Zo says, how about Burn in Hell? Yeah, so
Burn in Hell says.
I feel like LA Kid is probably your best bet right now at 2863. Mr. Wilbur says, doesn't Linda Lovelace flirt? Okay, I'm not reading the rest of that. Quiet Cannon says, but Black used to be a pitching coach. He was a good pitcher in his day. If the Diamondbacks would sign him up, I think they could help him out a lot there. If the Diamondbacks don't pull out of things, how about that, Torey Lavello?
There was a lot of words in that sentence. I'm not
I
sure
was
what any of
really
them
trying
meant.
to keep it together. That just
fell apart.
Missing punctuation. Did the point get across? I wasn't even sure what he was saying.
Something came across. I don't know if it was the point.
Baker's Cocky Hens has a good idea. Texter nickname should be the full phone number if you refuse to pick a name. So I'll just start reading their phone number. That's evil. I can't do that. I feel like I'd be I feel like I'd be violating some sort of law. Anyways, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Screen time's over.
Be home by 11?
Put your phone down while we're eating.
When parents set boundaries, keep track of where their kids go, and talk to them about the dangers of underage drinking and drugs, they keep their kids safe. Visit talknowaz.com. Be the influence. Talk early. Talk often. Talk now.
Thanks. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
We talk sports. 1580, The Fanatic.
Cincinnati Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Oh wait, did I talk too soon? Did I make words before I was supposed to? Okay.
Yes. Never too soon for you, Jeffco.
I think we're all just groggy. I think the 3-day weekend was more than we could handle.
Could be.
Are we on the air?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair question around here.
Around these here parts.
Quiet Cannon said, "Hey, what if I wanted to say what was that if Dimebacks get butt Black on staff in case Corey Lavello ever got fired, but Black could take over as manager?" I think what he's trying to say is if Torey Lavello gets fired, then they would have Bud Block to take over. Black.
I think so. And by the end, it was weird. The middle chunk of that word sandwich did not make any sense at all. But the two pieces of bread at the beginning and end really helped tie it all together.
Yeah, when I read Quiet Cannon stuff, I start to question many things about my reality. Tank Blood says, "What if we called that new guy texter Phil's kid?"
I don't.
Phil's kid?
Yeah, I don't think that plays, as they say in the radio biz.
So 2863 says, "Oh, I don't mind Ralph's LA mistress, but I'm a dude and I'm into girls. Do not want people getting the wrong idea." You don't want people getting the wrong idea about your made up fake name that covers up who you are so no one out there ever actually knows who you are. Fair enough. Let's just call this person LA Kid. We're just going to go with LA Kid.
Absolutely. LA Kid. There you go. The LA Kid says,
yeah. LA Kid.
I like it, Jeffco. I like it. LA Kid.
Are we sure he didn't want it to be pronounced La Kid?
La Kid?
No.
Okay.
He's not
Or
a LeBron fan.
Louisiana Kid.
It could be.
Let's see. Lost Taco says, "Is the term goat officially overused?" Yes.
Oh gosh,
absolutely.
The goat conversation of like any time that you're saying, "Oh, goat," or "he's goated," or whatever, that has reached the Mount Rushmore effect. Where remember when everybody at first was in love with Mount Rushmore and being like, "Oh, what are your Mount Rushmore cereal brands? What are your Mount Rushmore action movies?" and all this stuff. And then eventually we all got burned out on it. We are officially burned out on goat.
Yeah. Lost Taco says every time he hears the goat noise effect used in a commercial, he says, "Part of me cringes."
How about this one?
I love
That's
that
pretty
noise.
goated. Yeah.
I don't even care. Bear Claw says, "LA Kid for sure." Baker's Cocky Hen says, "That new seatbelt commercial makes me want to throw people on it through the windshield. It's so annoying." Whose minds are being changed with that commercial? So the LA Kid says he prefers LA Kid, so it works for me. Thank you, Jeffrey and Randy.
Now there we go.
I guess I am owed no thanks, but it's
Well,
okay.
you keep trying to keep him from being the LA Kid for some reason.
You wanted him to be LA Woman. Homage to the Doors. Yeah.
Walking down the street. Oh, We had different interpretations.
I was going Kravitz. What
Yeah.
were you doing?
I was doing LA Woman. Walking
Yeah, that's
down
the Doors
street.
there.
Yeah.
Roy Orbison, though. No, that's Roy Orbison.
Well, you did a Roy Orbison, but the Doors did. The Doors did "L.A. Woman."
What?
Yeah,
That's
the
a whole
Doors
nother
did-
song, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
we're
the
talking about three
Doors did a song called "L.A. Woman."
You should bring that up for us, so I know. I don't know if I know this one.
Really, you
Yeah.
haven't heard the Doors do "L.A. Woman"?
I've heard Roy Orbison do "Pretty Woman,"
That's "Pretty Woman."
and then what was the other one? I forgot already. Yeah, the one I was singing. I don't know. L.A. Woman. Oh, I was doing Lenny Kravitz, American Woman.
No,
Yeah, and I was
the
doing
Doors.
Pretty Woman, but
"L.A. Woman," the Doors. Here it is. This is "L.A.
It
Woman."
just
by
sounds
the
like a
Doors.
motorcycle.
Well, it starts out that way. Starts out that way.
Can you
this
fast
is-
forward to
Yeah,
like
this is psychedelic.
like
okay.
the main part?
Here you go. You don't remember this? You remember this, Jeffco?
Nope. I'm way younger than you.
Well, that's true.
You are substantially older than me. Okay, I know the song.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's L.A. Woman. Okay.
Yeah, I knew you would do it. I knew you would remember it.
Yeah, I got it now. I got it.
All right. All right.
I'm hip to your jive.
There you go. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Oh, so over the weekend while Randy and I were grilling, and I don't know what Phil was doing. Phil, you were just eating somebody else's grilling or what?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took my sister out on a hike. That was about the highlight.
What?
Well, no, it was early in the morning. It was like at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my God. Don't end up being somebody we see being taken down on a helicopter, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
What if I'm taken up by a helicopter?
Well, the last
Well,
time
that's awesome.
I saw someone taken up by it was that lady, and she was turning around at about 3,000
Oh,
RPM.
yeah.
Remember that? Wow.
Could be worse. It could be that guy who climbed up Mount Everest, had to be helicoptered down, went back up 2 days later. After
Forgot his phone.
Forgot his phone. So he
Yeah.
goes back up and it had to be helicoptered down again.
Mhm.
Sometimes some people just run into the door that God presented them. You know,
I feel like you get one rescue, and if you do that the next day, it's like good luck.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Whatever works.
Jeez. Louise.
LA Kid says, so now that we've been formally introduced, can we talk about how hot the Dodgers are? No, we're not talking about the Dodgers. This is not that show. See, just because you're listening doesn't make it a Dodger show. This is a Phoenix radio program. This is an Arizona Diamondbacks fandom sort of area. Now, we all have different fandoms. We all have different teams, usually when it comes to football or other sports. But no, I'm not going to read the rest of all the stuff you typed about your stupid team because I don't care about them.
Are they really that hot, though?
Hotter than the Dodgers. I mean, than the Diamondbacks.
Well, who's not hotter than the Diamondbacks?
Everybody
hopefully the
above
Pirates.
500. Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
go ahead.
so no, LA Kid, we're not doing that. That's all I'm going to say. So over the weekend, people were relaxing and hanging out and doing their thing. And during a screening of Final Destination in Argentina, people are sitting there watching the movie, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so realistic!" Because the ceiling collapsed and just came down
boy.
on everybody in the
my
theater.
Goodness. Wow.
This 29-year-old woman was there with her 11-year-old daughter, and she's like, wow, this was just like, I thought it was 3D at first. And it only missed her head because she was leaning over the armrest, kind of like, I don't know, like talking to her kid or something. And she got some injuries. She had to go to the hospital, but, well, now that, the next call should be to a lawyer, but she says she heard a loud noise, but she thought at first we thought it was part of the movie because we were so into it, but then a huge piece fell on me.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Yeah, that's the 4D experience that
Perfect
nobody
timing.
really want.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather have a piece of the ceiling fall on me than smell-o-vision, having to smell what's up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the movie, like.
But I mean, look at it this way, though. I mean, she didn't have to pay extra for that 4D experience.
No, but
probably
imagine
got a
sitting
refund.
in any theater again. It's like the whole time you're like, no, I'm just going to watch it at home.
I don't go to theaters anymore.
Really?
No.
A lot of people don't. That's a shame. But I think this is just we've sort of kind of retracted. First, it was you got to go out and you got to watch the movies out there, and now it's we're going to come back here and we're going to watch indoors. So I don't have any problem with watching all our movies at the house. I mean, you can pause it and you can go to the bathroom.
Yep.
See, I'm an avid theater goer. I didn't go see anything this. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I did go see the new Paul Rudd movie this weekend. But
which one's that?
That would be called Friendship. It was way out there.
Haven't even heard of it.
No, trust
I
me.
knew the one where he ran over a unicorn. I didn't know he had
Death of a Unicorn. I saw that one too. That was quite good.
I saw the worst damn movie last night, and I bet Phil's going to be like, I thought it was great.
Let me think about this. I'm trying to think. What's a recent movie that I loved that you might hate? I can't think of it. What was
Mickey 17?
Oh no, that was so average. It was
that
disappointing.
Was less than average. It was a lot of satire in there, and I could appreciate it probably more than my wife did. But at the end of it, it was like, oh god, that was so bad. That was so bad. Don't watch Mickey 17.
Yeah, that was a passion project. That is just a love letter to oneself.
Woof is all I got to say about that.
Really? Wow.
Slow Mo Zo says 3 hottest teams in baseball are the Phillies and the Yankees.
The 3 hottest teams
are the Phillies and the Yankees.
Is that a joke about how the Yankees have all the players?
No, I think it's a joke that we're going to exclude the Dodgers even in
what
the
do you do with Detroit? Detroit for a bit had the best record in baseball, and they sit atop the AL Central. What do you do with the Detroit Tigers?
That just feels like it's eventually going to get righted, right? Like that.
I don't know.
Real.
They have 2.5 studs at the top of that pitching rotation. They've got hitting, and then they've got what's his name? Adheel Aberdew. What's his name? Playing
Miguel
center field.
Cabrera.
No, his name is Miguel Aberdew or something like that. Oh my God, he's he's got the greatest name in baseball, and C, he's a great center fielder. Mikael Aberdew or something like that.
Yeah. You sound like Adam Sandler, like yelling.
Akil
No,
Badu?
it's real. Yeah. Akil
Badu.
Badu. That's it.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, wait, nobody died in that when the ceiling collapsed. So now everyone there understands they are quickly going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're all making arrangements. That's right. The woman didn't die, so she owes death a death. Fish Tank says, I'm pretty sure the Dodgers just got swept by the Mets, so let's pump the brakes there, LA guy.
Dodgers are 4-6 in their last 10.
Hamilton Porter says, don't know if you guys heard about the theater in Brazil, but they got the real 4D experience there. Yep, we just talked about that.
Akil Badu.
Badu. Oh, by the way, also over the weekend, remember like back in 2016 when Kim Kardashian, she got kidnapped at gunpoint and they tied her up and then they stole all her jewelry and stuff in Paris.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like
a hoax.
I thought it was all a hoax or inside job, but no, it turned out it was legit. And Randy, it's given me ideas. Let me explain. All right. The gang got convicted, right? There's like a handful of people. They, did that thing, and then they didn't hurt her, but they got all her stuff. And turns out 7 men, 1 woman. They've all been released.
No kidding.
They were all found guilty of robbing her. They all have served time since then, but the court's like they're all too old and sickly. They can go home now.
What?
Because they're in their 60s and 70s.
Oh,
so basically.
Hey. All right.
If you're in your 60s and 70s and you get found guilty of something, they're just going to let you go home.
Hey, there we go. We're moving to France.
I'm having ideas, Randy. They also confirmed the majority of all the stuff stolen was never recovered.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, I'm sure
they got away with it. They did a little time, but they got away with it.
There it is.
We got to learn French.
Yeah,
but we got to take a break. It's hour 2 next here on the Daily Blender.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it. They've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil in the control room. What did I say wrong?
That one felt like a real one. Like, it is, what time is it? What?
No, I knew what time it was. I just realized I actually accidentally put my headphone over my other ear, and everything sounded weird, so I was trying to get it off my ear ever since the gun incident. Everybody else is in the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And LA Kid is getting the idea, understands the idea. And he says, all right, fine. He says, I can talk about local sports here in Arizona. Now, you're allowed to talk about your team a little. You're allowed to jump in and heckle. You're allowed to talk about whatever football team you want when we're talking football, but I'm not going to become a fan mouthpiece just for the Dodgers. That will never, ever happen. And a lot of times when people try to get me to say nice things about their teams, I just change it to my team.
Yeah, and also know one thing about Jeffries, you can't make him steer the ship anywhere that he doesn't want to go. So if you want to just all of a sudden, we're in the middle of a Cardinals conversation and you want to bring up the Dodgers.
Yeah, Ringless Joe.
Unless Jeffrey has a pivot point, yeah, it's not happening.
He says, did you see the University of Arizona and Arizona State University baseball team? They made the regionals. ASU is heading to LA to play in the LA regional, while Arizona is heading to Eugene, Oregon to be in that regional. We don't care about you, Arizona, because we like ASU. We will treat you, Arizona, with the same disdain we will treat your LA sports teams with.
Yes, that's true.
Slow-mo Zoe, we're moving on from baseball, pal. Jonesy says Bobby Witt Jr. has my vote for best name in baseball. Just screams ball player. Bobby Witt Jr.
That is like that you could see as a baseball player back in the 40s. Like Bobby Witt Jr., that is a timeless name right there.
And Slow-mo Zoe, who was talking about Javier Baez, that sounds like a folk singer.
Yeah, Javier Baez sounds like a folk singer. Yeah. You don't like Blaze? What's his name with the Diamondbacks? Now, see, there you go.
Blaze
by the
is
way,
a great name.
By the way, speaking of Blaze, I have an announcement I need to make here on
announcement.
I have an announcement to make here on. Did I already make this announcement?
I think you made this announcement last week.
Blaze
Wilder.
Blaze Wilder.
Yeah.
Did I make
I don't think I've heard it.
My grandson is named Blaze Wilder.
Born?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Yeah.
No. November.
All right.
November, baby. Blaze.
Got to live up to that name, though.
Well,
it's a lot of pressure.
Action hero stuntman or a concert flutist.
I think it's flautist. I believe it's flautist.
Yes, you are correct.
Walter Mellon says other people ruin the movies on their phones, texting, taking calls, having full-on conversations with other people in the theater. Lack of respect for one of our good old pastimes. Summer blockbusters used to be a thing to look forward to. Here's the problem with that. There's a couple of different layers of problems there. Yes, people are a-holes. But the other problem is Hollywood is just seemingly out of good original ideas and movie stars. You know, we're about out of movie stars. You know, the rest of it's just we're all TV stars now. So I mean, over the weekend it was Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible, but then that old movie stars movie got beat by Lilo and Stitch live action movie.
Yeah, 23 years ago they went head to head. Tom Cruise won round one. Lilo and Stitch won round two. It's insane as far as opening weekends go. And also, here's the other thing. I think if you're having trouble with your audience, then go to a different theater, because I cannot tell you how drastically a different movie experience you can have pending the movie, depending on whether or not you go see a movie in Surprise versus, I don't know, Metro Center. Or I guess now no longer Metro Center, but
do what I've done here in this house. I just find the biggest room that nobody's using downstairs, and I put in a bunch of theater seating, and I put it in a giant screen and a projector, and I hire some people to make popcorn. And I mean, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this at home. Yeah, make your own little theater.
Yeah, I don't think just anyone can do this.
I feel like anyone should be able to do this if you really try hard enough.
Jeffrey, there is something to be said about like a good, just a crowd movie, like going to go see a movie and the rest of the crowd is in it. When it's good, it's good.
No, I feel you. I hire some extras and actors locally to come in and just play that part.
No.
Anyone can do this. I don't know why everyone's not doing this.
We'll just let you think that. Okay. All right, then. Yeah.
Lost Taco says, talking about movies, did you hear all that Mattel, yes, the toy company, has pitched and is developing a whack-a-mole movie?
Mattel is crazy, man.
What could that even be about? I mean, that's just whacking a mole, right?
Well, Mattel is Mattel is the same company that once Barbie went off, they have just been going off their rocker about everything. And they will sell you a bag of Hot Wheels Cheetos if it could get them $1, because they have approved and are in the process of developing.
I need Hot Wheels Cheetos.
A dark Barney film.
Who doesn't like Hot Wheels Cheetos?
I'd watch a dark Barney film.
Yeah, there's a dark Barney film coming out. They've explored the idea of like a super serious, like neo-noir Monopoly, like
dark
a game.
Barney instead of purple, he would be black or what?
Yeah, he apparently
no. It's about it's not about what color Barney is. It's more about just his murderous soul.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's going to go back
thought
to
it was
the
maybe
origins
like
of
dark purple.
It's going to go back to the
Oh,
origins of the Barney
okay.
that had smoke
Alright.
coming out of his head. See
Seems
like
like
what
it
the
would
real
be
reason
like a
was.
dark red if it's murderous Barney.
No,
So
and
his eyes are a dark red, but the rest of his body is a dark purple. Like
Yeah.
Mopar purple, probably is a good way to put it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I could see. Okay, I could
Yeah,
see.
Mattel will go to like Mousetrap levels for like and go to that board game and then create a murder
Still, though,
mystery.
I mean, purple. That's got a lot of happy connotations to it.
Randy, you're getting stuck on Barney and my friend. There are problems far and above
Yeah.
beyond Barney.
Last Optimus says, Barney was exposed as a pedo.
Oh,
I don't think you could make
Oh.
that movie that wasn't dark now after that.
Barney was a pedo.
I don't think
The guy inside there. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
No, that's true. The Jet says Jeffrey's not lying. He hires me as a drunken patron that gets thrown out of the movie theater.
As long as you get thrown out during the commercials, because at least then it doesn't ruin your experience.
Head first. Hefty Lefty says Brazzers has developed a movie called Wacka. Okay, I can't read that. Tank Blood says I watched Tropic Thunder again last night. That might be Tom Cruise's best work. Rumor is there might be a Lex Grossman movie coming, which was the crazy bald dancing character that Tom Cruise played in Tropic Thunder.
What a great character! And coming up from
I don't know if you
scratch.
can do a movie with him though.
Yeah, it would be a rated R movie, that's for sure. That's where we're starting. My goodness.
Moist One says, you got cookie dough bites? Maybe some chilled Mr. Pibb on tap? No. Hamilton Porter says, movies got ruined when all the Hollywood did was start making live action remakes of all the cartoons.
Well,
I agree.
That's just Disney specifically, but yes. The sequels and remakes.
Aren't all movies live action movies?
Well, no, they're not the animated ones.
Yeah. Think of like Toy Story, Randy. That's not live action.
Huh.
Rocky Top says, wait a minute, there's a guy inside of Barney? What are you talking about? Barney's a purple dinosaur. It comes from our imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got bad
Don't
news
make
for
me
the-
draw you a picture of this.
Yeah, I got bad news for the Easter Bunny for you, pal.
What?
Just keep that to yourself, Phil. So I heard a rumor. This is a rumor. And I am not sure about the sites or the people who are putting it out there. Mark Stein is an NBA insider who evidently is saying that the Suns head coaching search is down to just a couple of guys now. Chris Quinn and Sean Sweeney. Chris Quinn is a former NBA player, has been a long-time assistant for the Heat ever since 2014. And let's see, Sweeney is a wife beater. Jason Kidd disciple. And he coached with him on the Nets and the Bucks and that right now with the Mavericks. So those two guys are said, at least by NBA insider Mark Stein, to be El Primo Dose. But of course, the Suns also might be taking a look at Cleveland Cavaliers assistant Jordan Ott. So that is at least the latest on that. And another thing, I'm not sure if it's real. So somebody might want to look this up. That Phoenix Suns have appointed Dan Marley as assistant general manager.
No kidding.
So here's the thing. Where is James Jones in all of this anymore?
Oh, he's gone.
He's not gone from the team.
Yeah, he got he's going to be the head of janitorial services or
Right.
something. Like he moved to a different, he moved his desk.
He's the new vice president of blah blah.
Yeah, they're going to be paying him. They're going to make sure that they get something back for their money, I suppose. But no, yeah, he's gone. And
why did they do that to him when none of what happened was his fault?
Oh, because it needs to fall on somebody, and it's never going to fall on the owner. Like it's always got a drip down effect. So yeah, absolutely. And look, here's the point to what you're saying here, Jeffrey. Whoever they're hiring, first of all, it's going to be the guy before the guy. Because nobody taking this job, nobody wants to take this job.
You know who wants the job is Dan Marley. After he spent some time coaching GCU, and then Bryce Drew Jones, it shows up and just shows him how it's really done. But I think that Marley probably has an idea he might like to coach.
Maybe, I mean, possibly. But the thing is that whoever takes this job is signing up for a losing record for at least 2 seasons. So in an ideal world, this guy is just looking for a paycheck. This guy will just be steering the ship at best become what Kenny Atkinson was over in Brooklyn, and just maybe create a great culture, maybe set the bed for somebody else to sleep in.
I
because
don't think Ishbia sees it that way.
Too bad. Like there are no assets. There are no ways for this team to get any better other than to get everybody else's castaways. It's going to be like an expansion draft for the Suns. Like, ooh, they're going to be getting everybody else. Like maybe you get hit this team's grit and grind player. Maybe you get this guy, and maybe you muddy your way up to just under 500. Like that will be the most exciting prospect of the Suns because they will not have the best options at coaching in this offseason. They will not have the best options at anything other than to offload contracts in order to get under aprons and taxes and all that. So they are looking at a solid chance at getting the top percentage for the number 1 overall pick next year. But they won't even have that.
Diamondback dude says, whoa, Phil the thrill. Okay. Suns are going to have a losing record for the next several seasons. Are you high?
No, they will have a losing season for at least the next 2. I don't know in what way are the Suns getting better?
You can't really say that definitively yet until we see what they end up with. Ishbia is pretty well known for some dramatic and drastic moves and paying money, like you say, like a drunken sailor. And let's just see what we end up with before we make that determination. You might be right, but anything can happen with this team, though.
Jeffrey,
anything can happen.
Jeffrey, getting rid of Kevin Durant, is that going to be a move towards the positive or towards the negative?
Well, at this point, it depends on how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it, what you might get back for it, I think that'll be a positive. I mean, I don't know how much you can get for him, in that financial situation. To be honest,
you have to use the Kevin Durant thing as a positive. You've got to get trade assets, or you've got to get young players that are up and coming guys. You cannot afford to trade away Kevin Durant and not get anything of any value from this trade.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. But all those being said, those are not win now moves, Randy. Like everybody who's winning now is going to be wanting to trade for Kevin Durant. The fact that we're having to trade him away is just indicative of where the Suns are and where the direction that they are headed. Their arrow, guys, is pointing down. The next 2 seasons, guaranteed, they are having a losing record. And because also the West is not getting weaker, the West is getting stronger. Hello, Giannis, over to the Spurs. Hello. Do you think that within the division, that's going to be an extra 4 wins? No. Hello. Goodbye to those 4 wins that we had last season. Bye.
Who said Giannis to the Spurs?
It's happening, Randy. Like the
How
Spurs,
do you know this?
Unless the Thunder are wanting to get into this, and even then, we're still talking about in the West. Unless the Thunder want to get into this,
Giannis to the Suns.
No.
There we go.
No,
there we go, Jeffrey.
See, guys, now we have to
Giannis to the Phoenix Suns.
See, we have to deal in some version of reality here.
What do you mean reality? We need to have Ishbia. Get Ishbia on the phone, Phil, and let's get this on the way.
San Antonio Spurs can give the Rookie of the Year last year, can give the number 2 overall pick this season. Just those 2 alone.
Oh, they're not going to get rid of Wemby.
No. They're
Wemby to the Suns.
Yeah, Wemby to the Suns. Damn it.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to the Suns.
Shea Gilligan-Alexander to the Suns.
No, guys.
Ishbia's got a deep pocket.
He has deep pockets, but in a capped league, that only does so much. That only does
Cap
so much.
Schmap. Bring us all of the good players
to the Suns.
To the Suns. Good luck, guys. Next 2 years, and this isn't even me being dour and like loving this, because again, we're gonna have to just talk about, so the Suns lost by 40 last night. Oh, the Suns lost by 30 last night, and somehow make it entertaining. I don't know how.
How do you know all of this?
We're gonna have nonstop gorilla talk. Like that's how. Did you see how he flipped over there and just really nailed the
gorilla
dunk?
Talk? What?
Yeah, because that's all we'll be able to
do. Where is all this innuendo coming from?
There's no innuendo. The gorilla is over the mascot for the Suns.
Okay. Where is all this talk of you knowing what's happening? Where is this all coming from?
You know what? I've got my sources. I am deep inside the league.
Diamondback dude says Phil is definitely high. Giannis is not going to the Spurs. They already have Wemby. Sometimes I think Phil just says things because he can't stop talking. You're motor mouth, Phil, he says.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. However, Giannis is certainly going to the Spurs. And the only one, okay, let's go to the top three locations.
Certainly.
He's
What is
certainly
this certainly?
he's certainly going to the Spurs. But even if he's not, even if there's
Not if Matt Ishbia writes the check fast enough.
do you think that the Milwaukee Bucks are looking to offload him into the East? No. So now you got a potential MVP going to the West, where you're going to have more matchups with them, which equals and equates to more losses for the Phoenix Suns, like just built-in losses. Like even if he goes to the Rockets, okay, that doesn't help you in those games that you play against the Rockets, those 3 games or whatever they are. I forget what their season averages. Those are like guaranteed losses over there. So I mean, there's no respite. There is no breather. There is no water pouch out in the desert that we are in. Yes, respite.
Respite.
There is no relief in sight. It is awful. It is awful. They have left us in an untenable situation.
Phil?
Bradley Beal is an anchor.
Phil, who's your team?
The Los Angeles Lakers.
Why don't you shut your face? 888-368-1580. Golden Domer says, trade Bradley Beal for Wemby and Bol and Grayson for Giannis.
Yeah,
Why
my
not?
God, why not? Why not? I wonder if that goes through in the trade
Why
machine.
not?
Yeah.
Get on NBA 2K or whatever and see if those trades work, Golden Domer.
Yeah, let's go see. Let's go see if
Why
the
not?
contracts match up. Yeah.
Slow Mo Zo says, no matter what, the Suns will be ahead of the Fakers. Yeah, the Fakers, the Lakers have their own set of things they got to worry about, but they do have Luka. The Jet says, addition by subtraction. We all know my feelings on KD, but it's time to find out if I'm right or not. I don't know. Jet,
Come
you think we
on.
just sit around writing down what you say? I have no idea what your feelings are on anything.
He doesn't like KD. He's not a KD fan.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He didn't like the move to get KD. We gave up too much for KD. And
Well, now looking back, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got stagnant for a moment, and it seemed like we got to do something. Did a
Right.
thing. Yeah, it didn't work. Now we're screwed.
Yeah, and look at the pieces that they gave away.
No. I don't want to look back and be sad every time we look back at the Cam.
Mikal Bridges in the conference
Don't
finals.
go there,
Oh,
Phil.
This
Don't go
offseason,
there. Oh,
Yeah, we
God,
get to see it and feel it enough just watching TV. Phil.
Cameron Johnson is over
Don't
there, and
do
he's
it,
a
Phil.
big trade
Phil,
piece this year.
I'm begging you, Phil.
I
Don't
miss
do
the
it.
Cams.
No draft assets to speak of going forward.
Phil,
It's bad.
stop.
It is
Stop while you
bad.
can. Dear God, man.
Hefty Lefty says, just 2 years to collect a paycheck and be the fall guy, huh? Well, I volunteer as tribute. Oh, I would too, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a swell gig. Just know that it
some
kills
money.
your future prospects. Yeah.
Lost Taco says, dude, love Dan Marley, but Dan Marley could barely manage a restaurant chain.
That's so true. I used to love their shrimp, and then they messed with the recipe.
Oh, I haven't been in there in years.
It's been years. They keep changing recipes left and right, and then all of a sudden I'm stuck with peppery shrimp. Do you know how awful it is to eat peppery shrimp while watching
No.
the Suns lose time and time again? It is awful.
I don't know what peppery shrimp
I
would taste
don't,
like.
I don't mind peppery shrimp.
Well, no, without the lemon, it is awful. You need the
What?
lemon to go with the pepper, or else now you're just eating.
Not hard to
Get a
get some
lemon.
lemon, Phil.
Yeah,
Just ask for a lemon.
squirt a lemon.
Have you
That's
tried
the
asking
deal.
Dan Marley for some lemon? He can't
you
even
gotta-
hear you. He has to
You gotta
bend down.
Squeeze the lemon, Phil.
He doesn't
Squeeze
like
the-
it when I squeeze his lemons, Randy.
Don't squeeze his lemon.
No.
Dimeback Dude says, why is
Thunders.
Phil such a Suns hater? Well, you heard him. He's a Laker fan. All of what he has just said has been disqualified by
I'm
the
a-
fact he's a Lakers
I'm a
fan.
realist. I'm just telling you guys.
Moist One has the idea. He says, trade Durant and every single asset other than Booker and Cooper Flag. If Nico Harrison really is crazy and wasn't just forced to trade Luka to the Lakers, he might just do it. So we give everybody for Cooper Flag. Just give him everybody. Moist One.
Aye.
Except for they don't want to pay that much freight. I love your idea though, but
It's a swell idea.
you'd have to get Nico on a drunk day. Hefty Lefty says cayenne pepper on shrimp almost killed Stu in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Pierce
I don't
Brosnan. What a
remember
legend.
that well enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, let's take a look at what's going on with the playoffs in the NBA and in the hockey. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
What if the dollar was no longer the world's reserve currency? According to former IMF chief economist Kenneth Rogoff, that future is coming faster than you think. His new book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, reveals how rising debt, inflation, and global de-dollarization could lead to a full-blown currency crisis, one that could wipe out retirement accounts tied to the stock market or the dollar. That's why Advantage Gold is giving away free copies of this urgent book when you schedule your one-on-one precious metals appointment. You'll learn how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver, avoid taxes and penalties using a little-known IRS-approved strategy, and how to receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you qualify. Protect your retirement before it's too late. Call 800-324-9902 now. That's 800-324-9902. Or visit AdvantageGold.com to claim your free copy. There's no cost, just the truth. No precious metals purchase necessary. Call 800-324-9902 now. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
The Rich Eisen Show.
The NFL announced there's a new award at the NFL Honors this season called Protector of the Year. So the George Washington of this award, Deion Dawkins.
It's a cool deal. It's a cool deal to really put thoughts in the air and then grab it and put it on paper. It's been a long time coming, but we got it done. Protector of the Year award is here. And now all the big boys around the world have something to look up to and go after as they, work out and play football.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. No, I don't think Phil is from LA kid. I will have to figure out why he has LA fandoms at another time because he needs to
he's
real fast.
He's always been a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
And
so younger people like to follow players more than teams, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He just said he was an LA fan. So, well, when he's got to track something down real fast, we're trying to get rid of that annoying buzz you might be hearing. The annoying buzz sometimes is just Phil talking, but right now there's an actual bzz, so he's gonna play with it until he figures it out. This is professional radio.
I
anyway,
thought that was normal. That
no,
that I would hear that in my sleep.
Yeah, that's just tinnitus. LA Kid says, I hope Phil's not a poser Laker fan that jumped on board and LeBron joined the team. That's the worst kind of Laker fan. Well, we'll let him speak for himself after he tracks down the buzz noise. The Jet says, wait, go back. Shouldn't you lose your man card if you know that much about Mrs. Doubtfire? No, Jet, and thank God you're not in charge of anything because That was a good movie. There was nothing wrong with that movie. There's nothing unmanly about that movie. Hefty Lefty says Phil is just a LeBron fan. He's not really a Lakers fan, and Hefty Lefty is a Lakers fan. Lost Taco sent over a before and after picture. That's not Ishbia. That's not what he looks like now. That's probably just AI. That's not even the same person. What is wrong with you, Lost Taco? If it is, it's not him. That's not him. Knock it off. Oh, Randy, hey, did you see Mary Lou Retton got a DUI?
Oh my goodness. That's terrible, isn't it?
She's had a rough couple of years, man.
Yeah.
She had that really bad battle of rare pneumonia. She was in the hospital in the ICU.
Yeah.
And, everybody was pretty supportive. Everybody chipped in to try to help her out with her hospital stay and all that kind of stuff. But listen, stress and life and everything, you go from being this little cute thing that's running around and on the Wheaties box and your gold medalist and your, all this stuff. And then you just go through a bad spell. It could happen to anybody. So I feel bad for her. Hope she gets it all straightened out for herself.
Yeah, I hope so too. That's too bad.
Whew, she's 57. I thought she was younger than me. Turns out, I guess not. Yeah, she got a perfect 10 in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And she had 5 medals that summer. So
I didn't realize it was 5.
Yeah,
Wow.
she had 1 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze. And that made her Sports Illustrated Sportswoman of the Year that year.
Oh, good for her. Yeah.
I mean, she was so small. They had some Sportswoman of the Year award probably left over. They could have given to someone else.
Yeah, you're exactly right. She didn't fulfill the height requirement for the Sportswoman of the Year.
Yeah. And then after she was done being a gymnast, she became a motivational speaker and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I can see that. She was very
spunky, perky.
Yeah, perky. I was going to say perky.
Yeah. Now she's just having a hard time. So, I mean, could happen to any of us. So let's just hope everything works out for her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
888-368-1580. Oh, and something else, Randy.
Yes.
Something else.
Okay,
hold on a second. Taco,
right.
Lost Taco says, Google Matt Ishbia. Check out the first image. Tell me I'm wrong. That is not Matt Ishbia in the image you put. Just because that image may come up, that is not Matt Ishbia. He's trying to make it look like he's all stressed out over the years. No, I see the picture there, but that's not him in that first picture that says Reddit. That doesn't look like him at all. You look at every other picture. If you hit images, all those pictures, that's Matt Ishbia. The picture you're trying to say is him doesn't even look like him. Just saying. Trust me, I don't know why Google is doing Matt Ishbia dirty like that. That first picture, it's not even right. It's not even right. So we get rid of the buzz?
We certainly did.
Hooray! Ramrod says she was the reason they changed the scoring system so nobody gets a 10. Wait, why would they do that?
Because it's kind of like a Persian rug, Jeffrey. A Persian rug is perfect. But nothing that is under God can be perfect. So they always add one single thread, one errant colored thread, so that way it can be that much perfect. And so with her getting 10s all the time, then how can you achieve perfection? So therefore, no 10s.
That's garbage. If
one?
she achieved it, they should just have let her have it. So everybody's saying, well, it's a subjective thing that she got 10s. And so if everybody is caught up in the wave, that doesn't mean that technically she should have had 10. So we're going to make it so where nobody gets 10s.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
what a pile of poo-poo.
Well, I guess so.
By the way, you can only find that sort of in-depth analysis here on CRC Broadcasting's 1580 The Fanatic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What a pile of poo-poo.
I think
Absolutely.
I speak for the entire fourth dimension. Jeffrey, are you drinking kombucha? Like, what are you doing?
No, this is the remains of Barney the dinosaur.
Oh, I see. The dark one. Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah, very nice.
I got gallons of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
It is a big dinosaur. No, my wife, she makes the shakes the healthy
Oh.
shakes. And I should be having these things for lunch, but she's been working out later, which means that she gets the shake later, and I can't have lunch at 4:30. So then she's brought me a little bit just to enjoy right there. It's actually pretty good.
Nice. Looks
I-
delicious.
I don't care so much when I'm sitting there chewing kale throughout the show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, Firefarter says Mary Lou Retton is so short she just sniffed some wine and got a DUI. Oh yeah, she's got to be a lightweight beyond lightweight.
You think so?
She
Huh?
sniffed the cork and was swerving all over the road.
Wow.
LA Kid says Phil is really just a poser LA Lakers fan, huh? So when LeBron leaves, he'll go back to being a miserable Suns fan.
It depends. If LeBron goes back to Cleveland, then of course he'll be a Cavaliers fan. But I think I do have a tendency to enjoy the Lakers more than not. It felt like I didn't have a reason to be a Lakers fan other than maybe an association, loose one here and there. But I do think I will. There's a chance if LeBron retires as a Laker, which there is a good chance, then I might stay and remain to be a Lakers fan because my
There's
second
no
favorite
doubt
player was Luka.
that Phil is annoying.
That is
But
true.
understand the reason he's annoying is because he comes from a place that has no professional sports teams whatsoever. The state which he was born in has no professional sports, barely has any college teams. And so, I don't blame him for picking some player he really likes and following him around. I can't be mad at him for that.
I'm a vagabond. I got a rucksack, over here.
Understand though, you are annoying.
Oh, of course. That comes with the territory. But who's most annoying are the people that are right. It's annoying, It's like the Raiders.
You're only annoying for this whole LeBron thing. The rest of it, you're not.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
The Jet says, I never cheer when I lose my buzz. Huh? Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, you mentioned Mary Lou Retton being a motivational speaker. Made me think, are there on motivational speakers? I started to think about a particular comedian who has similarities to Eeyore. Can you help me figure out who that comedian was? So I got in my head, that's Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright would be the opposite of a motivational speaker, although he'd make you laugh. You should definitely look up Stephen Wright. He was a great writer, epic writer, just one liner after one liner. Sometimes 3 or 4 liners, but very few premises. LA Kid says, what state is Phil from? Confusion. 888-368-1580. So listen, LA Kid, you're fixating on Phil. You just
Who can blame
relax,
you?
enjoy the show.
Who can blame you?
Remember I told you guys how the UFL sucks?
Yes. You did tell us that.
A few times here and there.
And how they're probably going to go away soon?
Yes. Yeah, that's been your mantra since it began last season.
So here's the deal. The second season of the UFL is in full swing.
Yes.
And Memphis, they have a team called the Showboats.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And they play at Simmons Liberty Bank Stadium. And they had an attendance of 2,044 this weekend.
Yep, that is correct.
With numbers like that, there's no way this continues. There's no way this continues. Now, somebody told me, like, hey, Jeffrey, they got that CBA. You can have agreements on how things are going to go. Everybody in the AAF had agreements on how things were going to go and how people were going to be paid and how much. But then the thing folded and everybody got sent home. So it doesn't matter if you have a CBA. That's why I'm going to continue to say it doesn't matter that the UFL has gone out and gotten themselves some trademark applications filed for the Oakland Invaders, for the Philadelphia Stars, the New Jersey Generals, and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Just because that they are wanting to expand doesn't mean they're even going to survive the season.
It's so hard because I don't know what could happen. Spring football should be a thing. Like it should exist. Like we're talking about the draft all here. We're dying for OTAs. We're dying for all this
100 days away from the first game of the season, Phil.
Yeah, we have a ticket. We have a ticker for it. We are going around
and ticker.
Yeah, we have a live ticker just counting down the minutes until the first opening game of the season. So it should, in theory, work. It just simply doesn't. And it's hard to exactly point a finger, since we've been talking about fingers all show, point a finger towards what exactly it is that is so off-putting. Like would a now, I know the NFL has tried in the past with like NFL Europe and such. But if the NFL did something of a junior varsity league, something like akin to the G League for the NBA, would that work? Would that be the thing necessary? Would it be something that you need a highly touted quarterback, a la like Arch Manning, to go to the UFL in order to bring eyes? Like, what is it that would make it successful?
Tried so many different things and so many different incarnations, and here it is. We don't have the bandwidth for more than NFL and college. A lot of people love college football.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people love the NFL. And nothing would ever get done around the house if we kept doing this. So people are looking forward to it. That's always a positive thing. Oh, I'm looking forward to the next season, whether it's college or the NFL or both. And then you get there and you're like, "Woo, this is great! Hey, we're enjoying it." And but nothing gets done. Home Depot is a ghost town, and and it's not until after the Super Bowl that we started looking around, going, "Well, I guess I better go paint that fence." So we kind of need a break. I think we do kind of need that break. And what happens to fill that break is this, oh yeah, the second half of the NBA season. Oh look, there's hockey over there, and now so all these other things, they rank higher in our minds and in our consciousness and in our remote clicker than the UFL or the AF or the XFL or the this or the that, and none of it works. None of it works because I think of those things.
I think one other side piece to it would be that it's nobody's number one sport. Like, in order to be a viable sport, you need to have.
And also, nobody wants to sit in the sun and watch football.
That's true. That's not bad. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it needs to be somebody's number one sport. You look at baseball, it's a to whatever degree of a crowd it is a crowd's worth of number one sport. Like, enough people like, oh, I love baseball. It's my number one thing. A lot of people, obviously the majority of people, think the NFL is their number one sport. You can even divide that and then go into college sports. There are a bunch of people who love college football more than they love the NFL. Like, they will ride and die, like especially in Alabama, places that don't have an NFL team. They will ride and die with a college team far more than they would any NFL team. For a new spring team, it is so hard to even have that be anybody's number two favorite thing, that, like, much like you said, Jeffrey, that where they go to in their quote unquote off season to just enjoy, it would be so hard for them to get geared up for yet another one. I think that's part of the problem.
Well, the other part of the problem is, attendance. You can't get enough attendance. Now, number one Rattlers fan says, well, there's a successful spring league called indoor football. Your highest attendance, it's not average. Your highest attendance was just over 9,000. That is respectable. Way better than Memphis, better than maybe a lot of XFL or UFL teams. But the reality is, not even the Rattlers get that kind of attendance consistently. I don't know, man. I mean, and really, in a city filled with 4.5 million people, you should get at least 5,000 people.
It should be viable, yeah. And also, I mean, that's the other thing. I think what's much to your point, attendance really does matter for up and coming leagues. Like right now, the NFL, in theory, wouldn't need to ever fill an entire stadium ever again, and they're just fine, just off of TV deals. Like they're absolutely profitable, even just on the TV deals alone. MLB does the opposite. Like they base their entire revenue essentially on attendance throughout the volume of games that they have, and then the TV deals are just the extra cream on top that they get. So it's an interesting thing, but especially on a new up and coming league. You definitely need that attendance, or else you will go kaput.
Well, I feel like the TV is about to go to kaput, because when you break away from a nail biter of an ending for a pregame for the WNBA, that tells you everything you need to know. Swave Dave says you're pretty spot on there, Jeffrey. The other factor is you have 100+ games for baseball, basketball, and I think even hockey. You can't get that much saturation for football, or there'd be burnout all around. Well, I think that's the thing. People are just like, I'm good. I'm good with the NFL. I'm good with college. Now I need this break. I got my other sports. I think I'll pass on that silliness. And it's also, I think maybe the artwork on the the teams and on their mascots and on the team names they're not great.
Well,
there's
and
only
also
so many to go around.
Also, the type of football, the quality of the play is not up to par either.
It's more about the quality of the players.
Yeah.
To be honest. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year, supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after-golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
8 Out presents Terrifying Jobs.
All right, take two. Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders.
Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by EPA and this station.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
We talk sports. 1580 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Okay, so it turns out the guy that they were saying, oh, that's Matt Ishbia. That's Justin Ishbia, you dope. That's his brother. He's part of a story where they now own 35% of the White Sox. So
I see.
So he just popped up there because the name Matt Ishbia was also in the story. I told you that wasn't Matt Ishbia, you doof. I don't remember who gave us that. T-Licious is suspicious.
Oh, say that 3 times fast.
T-Licious is suspicious. T-Licious is suspicious. T-Licious is suspicious. He says LA Kid is Ralph.
Does Ralph have a texter nickname in there?
Yeah, just Ralph.
No, I know, but
I had to change it. I had it as Dit Bleep, but then I thought I was worried somebody'd read it.
fair enough.
So no, T-licious. LA Kid is not Ralph. Bruno Baller says, looks like ASU baseball is playing in Los Angeles Regional on Friday. Yeah, that was mentioned earlier, Bruno Baller. Says Grand Canyon University came up short this year, will not be in the tournament. Oh, that's
too bad.
That's a good team over there.
They have a good baseball program over there at GCU. Yeah,
sure they do. Tank Blood says definitely not more annoying than LeBron flopping and laying on the ground like a wounded duck. LeBron James, he's got wrestling quality acting skills. Did anybody see the Space Jam?
No.
With LeBron. That's your boy. That's LeBron. That's your.
Oh wait,
your
no,
guy.
Space Jam. Yeah, well, you said Space Jam. I'm just kidding. I've seen both, but yes, I saw both.
I've not seen the one with LeBron.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, he can't act, can he?
You know what? He did great in that. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Trainwreck, I think is what it was.
Yeah, Amy Schumer. I wouldn't say he did great. I mean, he did great.
He did great.
He does better in those commercials with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's got a whenever he's just naturally himself. If we have to ask of him to carry a story, maybe not, but he can carry a team. Gosh darn it. Oh, what a beautiful man.
He can?
Oh yeah. Look at 2017. Look at 28. Look at 29. Look at every darn year of his career. Look at it.
What?
Look at it.
It was Lost Taco. Told you Lost Taco. That's not a Matt Ishbia. It's his brother. So where were we? Oh, by the way, Caitlin Clark got hurt.
Yeah, she got a quad sprain.
Yeah, but she played out
Shouldn't
the
be
rest
riding
of the,
those things.
Yeah, she played out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it happened off camera, apparently. I mean, it's a little.
It's going to be hard to keep her off that court, though. You know what I mean? If she's how she's going to be gone like 10 days.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like 2 weeks ish. About 2 days or yesterday. I forget when it broke. But yeah, so I mean, it shouldn't be too much. I mean, unfortunately for the WNBA, I think every game except for maybe one of hers have been in primetime spots, primetime locations, primetime places. So it's sad for the league, I suppose, as a whole, because even though the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark are a championship contender, now without her, I mean, a lot of that appeal goes away. So, I mean,
Well, the bummer is she's going to miss a game against Angel Reese. That's always a lot of fun. But also for her, it's first time that she's missed playing in some games since high school. She's been a starter all the way through. And so right now, this got to be bad for her psyche. She's a very competitive person. And to see now that she's going to have to sit out, that is not easy. So it usually, you wonder if people are just sort of taking their time coming back. I think you're going to meet a team of doctors to make sure she's not pretending she's okay, so that she can come back. So it's too bad for her. But they're saying the first day she come back is June 10th, actually. So there you go. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, damn, Caitlin's ducking Angel Reese now. What a shame.
Oh, my gosh.
He says, tongue very far in cheek. Yes. Moist One says the Sibian strain. No, it was a hamstring or quad strain. Quads.
Pretty sure it was quad.
Where's the quad? It's in the garage.
Yeah.
What? Hamlin Porter says, did you see how much tickets drop for every Indiana Fever game for the next 2 weeks after they announced that injury?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
no, Hamilton Porter, because I'm not in the market. I would never. You'll have to tell me. I mean, what are they now? Anyway, somebody look this up. Well, Hamilton Porter, why don't you just tell us? But yeah, probably $2 tickets now, right? I mean, Angel Reese would be out there too. So, Swave Dave says that's pretty funny when the title of the movie is the actual critique, Trainwreck.
Oh, stop it! Oh, stop it!
Oh, by the way, this new pope. So listen, once you saw that video of him at the World Series like 15, 20 years ago, however long it was, and everybody's going up to him now, handing him sporting stuff. I guess some soccer players came by the Vatican and they handed him like a jersey, like a sign thing or whatever. I saw Conclave. The wife and I thought, well, let's see what's all going on here with these kooky Catholics there with what they do. And we watched the Conclave. That was an interesting movie. But the Pope has like an apartment, and now I could just picture the apartment from Conclave with like posters on the wall for the White Sox, for the Bears, all the memorabilia people give him. This is going to look like a straight up man cave.
Yeah.
In there. But no, I mean, other popes, you try to hand them stuff, and they're like, oh, it's nice, thank you. And then they kind of turn and hand it off to a guy. This pope is like, don't you lose this. Don't lose this. This is signed by Michael Jordan. I'll kill you.
I will excommunicate you.
I can tell God where to send the lightning. So I swear you just don't lose this. So this pope looks very, very in to all the memorabilia he's about to get. So
it's a very weird thing to have like a modern pope. Like, have you seen like certain people are like, my mom dated the Pope. My mom dated like, and like, so apparently there's like, just like, and plus he's the first Pope to ever be on like Twitter, like, and so it's very odd to have like, not just like this old, like almost like Santa-like figure associated with the Pope, that it's like, oh no, this guy, is a modern man. It's interesting.
It's weird for me. He speaks English.
The
mystique is gone once they speak clean, clear English. Well, I love the last Pope. Seemed like a really sweet guy. And he would talk in broken English and choppy whatever. And you're like, oh, yeah, good job, Pope. And this guy's like, what's up, everybody? I'm Pope. And you're like, that doesn't feel right. It's like somebody coming in and saying, hey, everybody, I am the King of England. How are you today? It's like, where's the accent? Well, funny thing, I went to school and I lost my accent. No, you need to leave.
Yeah,
no, I can't take this. So this Pope with no accent whatsoever. He no Italian accent, no Spanish accent, just a little bit of Midwest there. He's like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. This is going to be. I just prefer he doesn't talk. To be honest,
I think that goes against what the Pope and papacy does, Jeffrey.
I'll just mute the TV. I don't want to hear it. Hamilton Porter says, let's just pump the brakes. He's from Chicago. I wouldn't exactly call that English clean and clear. No, that's fair. No, that's a good point.
Well, hey there. How are you all doing out there in the pews?
Ham Sandwich says, I won't believe the Pope is from Chicago unless I see how he orders a hot dog.
That's pretty good.
Lost Taco says, oh, wow, Lost Taco. Lost Taco, I'm a little confused. Has that always been your name? Lost Taco? Did we have a different name for Lost Taco?
I don't think so.
I don't know. He just said he donated $100 to Arizona Sports Angels. Wow. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Just didn't see that coming. He says, because wait, I'm confused by this. Lost Taco says, oh, my bad. Please accept my donation to Arizona Sports Angels. Oh, forgetting the Matt Ishbia picture wrong.
Oh, okay.
Man, if people would donate money to charity every time they get something wrong, wouldn't that be something?
Lost Taco on Taco Tuesday. What a text day to text in.
Did you say Taco Tuesday?
Oh, that's right. Well, thanks for that, Lost Taco. I wonder if my translation program is changing that from something to something else. Has it always been Lost Taco? I'm confused. Hefty Lefty says the Pope is Midwesterner. So every Friday, the Vatican is going to be catered by Portillo's in Culver. The best thing that ever happened to the Vatican.
Yeah, could see that happening.
Best thing could ever happen. I haven't been to Portillo's since we went that one time, Randy.
With Big George, yeah. I'll never forget that. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, when did they give out the MVP to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? When did that happen?
Oh, that was last week.
Well, I know, but what day? Nobody told me.
I can't remember what day it was.
It was the day me and Harris went on air.
Oh, okay. So I was sick. That's why I didn't notice.
Yeah, yes. I think it was game 2.
Well, he gave his entire team, all the teammates got Rolexes when he won the MVP.
All right, there we
Which
go.
is fair because they helped him. You know what I mean? They were there. And so
They
he
were
gave
there.
everybody Rolexes.
No, I think that's fine. It's kind of like the what would that be? That would be like the quarterback giving his offensive line Christmas gifts, right?
Sure,
that's kind
sure.
of the equivalent. Yeah.
Sure. Everybody here, if anything like that happens with me, if I get an award or some sort of prestigious honor, you guys will all get slightly used Kasai gift cards.
Slightly used. Ooh, I like that.
I can't guarantee you what the balance will be on it, but I'd
Right.
probably hand
Yeah.
some out.
Yeah, thanks.
Fair enough.
Thanks a bunch.
Probably
Fever,
do that.
Fever tickets going for $11.
Wow.
Wow, that was not far off from my joking around. Hey, hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
Now you could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw an internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. One fake fentanyl pill could cost your child their life. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil to fill in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I was just taking a look there. Oh, by the way, yes, I did change my Twitter handle back to Radio Pal 1580. because nobody knows how to spell Jeffrey right, and nobody knows how to spell O'Brien right. So I was like, the hell with it. I'll just go back to Radio Pal 1580, so you can find things easy enough. And I did post this photograph. We were trolling Donnie pretty hard because let's just face it, the Timberwolves they're going down, and it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, seems that way.
And he had no clever things to say, so all he did was send me a picture of him flipping us off. But if you look at his entertainment system right there next to the Greenie pet treats, he's got a motif candle of Anthony Edwards right there.
That is incredible.
I see.
That is living your life. That is fantastic.
Good for you, Donnie.
It's Anthony Edwards Jesus candle right there. So
well, I mean, listen, anything at this point, try to help the T-Wolves win a game, because Anthony Edwards is getting his butt kicked. That's all I have to say.
A little bit. But in the picture, Phil looks like he's gritting his teeth, ready to fight. I'm giving the death stare over to the middle finger, but Randy's eyes are closed. His hand is up like he's using the force to push it away. That is just about as epic as in a photo as I've seen.
That's fantastic.
You can see it on the X, Twitter, or whatever, at
like
Radio Pal 1580.
I like it.
Slave Dave says, so when you see the Pope doing sermons, you'll hear the occasional, "Da Savior." Are we going to do this again? Are we going to go down the road of all the Pope jokes again?
Possibly.
I thought we've reached a full Pope joke saturation.
It's always there. It's always like they're brimming under the surface, like a good Chicago dog,
Mm-hmm.
Chicago dogs brim below the surface?
Below the surface of the water. Yeah, they just stay underneath boiling. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in a situation where there were some pigs in a blanket.
Okay.
What?
And little hot dogs wrapped in
yes.
Like
I thought
like
I know what they are. I just I didn't know if you had like piglets in a blanket. There was a situation.
No,
I didn't know about.
Not been to Moist One's house. So
all right, very good.
So there were available to me pigs in a blanket, and I usually I'm pretty smart about not eating stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I thought to myself, I took one and like that's not bad. A little greasy on the hot dog part,
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, it reminded me of a little bit of the hot dogs you get from Nathan's. They seem a little bit bit greasy, just a little bit smoky, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked at these and I'm like, if these are kosher pigs in a blanket, I should be fine. And then what I thought to myself was, I haven't had a hot dog in forever, because them processed meats will kill you,
Yes. Yeah.
So I think, why not? Because even if I line them up to the length of an actual hot dog, skinny little thing, it can't possibly do any harm.
Well, sure.
So I grabbed and I lined up 5 of these little pigs in a blanket into I looked like hot dog length. Not even really, like small hot dog length, you know what I mean?
Okay, yes.
And I heated them up and I ate them, and I regretted that decision immediately.
Oh boy, really? Wow.
Turns out those were not Nathan's hot dogs.
Oh.
They were just greasy. And man, I had a grease ball in my stomach the rest of the day. That was on Saturday. Now remember, I am just now recovering from a stomach bug.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm like, whatever I do, I'm just not telling my wife.
Yeah, this is not the time to be adventurous when you're recovering, Jeffrey. This is the time to be safe. This is the time to eat your vegetables. This is the time to
the brat diet.
Yeah, to go heavy fiber, just like get everything out of there. This is not the time to start experimenting with the new Mexican food item down the street on the street taco vendor.
No,
pigs in a blanket don't seem that adventurous to me.
They're susceptible to danger.
So I didn't say anything to the wife because I didn't want to have to hear it.
Right.
But when she's like, "Hey, I was thinking about getting salad to go," and I said yes before she finished the sentence, she's like, "What did you do? What did you eat that you shouldn't?" Nothing. Can a person just want some leafy greens?
Yeah.
She's kind of squinted at me for a minute, but yeah. So I guess pigs in a blanket were not the best idea.
That's too bad.
These things shouldn't be allowed in my house if I can't have them.
Pigs in a blanket are good.
It's all right. That's the
use
other
the
thing. I
rights.
was
You got-
disappointed. I
yeah,
thought
you
the
gotta-
blankets had garlic on them.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Oh, see, I was gonna say the blankets usually are the bigger appeal to me, specifically in a pigs and blanket. I'm fine with a hot dog. Like go to a baseball game, get a hot dog. You know, it's a marriage. You know, like that is just what you
I
feel like.
generally get a brat, but go ahead.
But either way.
Oh, love a nice brat. Johnsonville's the best.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
what,
yeah.
whatever
good.
your wiener of choice is, go ahead and grab that during a baseball game,
Mhm.
and then you sit down and you enjoy.
I've been thrown out of baseball games for that.
Yeah.
that,
Oh yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You and Steve Ballmer. But look, for me, a pig's in a blanket. It's never been the meat. Like the meat is always tastes a little off. Like it's always what you can do with the pigs in a blanket is get
Phil
a nice
doesn't get it.
croissant,
No.
get a nice blanket that's there with some garlic. Like you can be more adventurous in a blanket than you
Well,
can in a hot dog bun.
Yeah.
You need to understand, Phil. I like pudding. You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Yeah.
I see. You know, ironically, another thing that was discussed on the day that it was me
Just
and
right
Harris.
by him, huh,
Yeah.
Jeffrey?
Oh boy, we get to hear about what happened when we were gone again, Randy. Go ahead, Phil.
It was National Vanilla Pudding Day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was it.
You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Do you even know what we're talking about?
I have
Phil?
no clue. No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, let's just leave it that way. Everyone
Yeah.
listening is going to start texting in screaming, but that's fine. Hurry Harry says, "You lost me at wiener of choice."
I think I gained some others, though. I think I gained some others.
You see, but the correct pigs in a blanket go as follows, and I will give you this information one time only, so you might want to take notes. You get a package of Little Smokies, and then what you need to do is you need to open the Little Smokies, and then you need to rinse them and pat them dry. Okay, Little Smokies, open the package, rinse and pat dry. Okay, that's step one. Step two is you get the Pillsbury, the flaky biscuits,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
you
good,
and you open those. I hope you guys are taking notes here. You take those and then you open them up, which is the funnest part, in my opinion, because it scares everybody. You just rip that thing up, pop, and it just what, and
Yeah,
then you
that's
get
bomb
the
squad moment
you
right
get
there.
yeah. You get the biscuits, you lay them out on the sheet there. Now you've got to get. Some people might like a certain sort of cheese over something else. I prefer to have maybe a little Swiss, maybe a little
pigs in a
cheddar
blanket?
cheese, and then what you do is you wrap the Little Smoky up in a triangle of your cheese of choice. Then take the wrapped Little Smoky that has been patted and rinsed and all that, and it has the cheese bound about it like a fancy little kerchief, and put it in the middle of one of those biscuits, and then roll it up and pinch it. And then once you have completed said assembly process, oh my God, either A, put them on the smoker or put them in your oven and let them bake to fruition. And
Well-
then when you get them out and they're nice and you got the flaky biscuits, the Little Smokies are not greasy or nasty, and you've got a little cheese on them. That, my friends, is the way you make the pigs in the blanket.
No, I can do you better. And what you do is you pop open the Pillsbury roll.
Uh-huh.
You put a full size hot dog in that. damn
Well,
thing.
you could do that. Yeah, sure.
And,
Yeah,
and you wrap
absolutely.
it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just go full size on this. And even if
Yeah.
it takes 2 Pillsbury rolls, if
Oh,
your
yeah, yeah.
if your wiener happens to be longer than
Well,
most,
some-
then
yeah.
maybe you need a couple of those things.
Yeah,
and
not-
you put it in the oven and
Oh,
you
yeah.
butter it, then you eat it.
Oh, yeah.
And there
yeah,
you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dip it in
Yeah.
a little ketchup. Bam.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Randy, can you
There
go
it
back
is.
over step number 4? You lost
No,
me.
I'm
Pinch your Little
sorry.
Smoky.
One time.
See how I had 2 steps?
You had to. You gotta write it down. No, of course I will.
You go back
Phil,
and listen to the podcast,
A
Phil.
little smoky, rinse and pat dry.
Is it no matter what always going to be a pig in a blanket, or like if you were to have sausage, like a breakfast pig in a blanket, does it
You
become?
could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that.
What
sure.
if you do like a chicken alternative? Is it chicken in a blanket, or is it still
No,
pig in a
That's
blanket?
an abomination.
That's an abomination in a blanket.
Yeah, it's an abomination in a blanket. Yeah.
Lost Taco, don't come around here with that garbage. He says,
Mm.
isn't a hot dog technically a taco? No,
Oh,
a hot
stop
dog's a hot dog. A taco is a taco. A sandwich is a sandwich. Quit trying to boil the ocean, all right?
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
it. God.
Firefighter says, this is way too much wiener talk for me. I wait until after midnight to talk about wieners.
Well, then you have missed the boat, my friend, because the best wiener talk in Phoenix radio happens right here on the Daily Blender.
Dr. Roadmap says, going even further back than Pink Floyd, it was Charles Dickens who wrote Oliver Twist. It's a true story.
Yeah.
Moist One says, I prefer sausage inside a pancake.
Oh, see, now that's a breakfast variation. Yeah.
And it give you heartburn.
Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, Phil is just another brick in the wall.
Yeah, it's true.
Swave Dave says, cheesy pigs in a blanket dipped in spicy mustard. Yum.
That's what I just said there.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yum, and whatever the hell that was.
Now wasn't me. That was Phil. He's been.
That's a bit far for yum.
He's accessed the button bar.
Yeah. Lost Taco says, I might be lost here. Sorry.
Yes.
You'll find your way. Straight
Okay.
Striper says, major mistake on the instructions. It should be Pillsbury croissants, not the biscuit.
Yeah,
See,
I've always
use the
heard the
biscuits.
biscuits, or I've always heard the croissants. That's
I've used the
we
biscuits.
grew up with biscuits. There were no
Yeah.
Pillsbury croissants when we were kids.
I've always had access to croissants for a pig in a blanket. That's why when you said biscuits,
you
Came up in a richer household than we did.
you guys are gonna have to invite me over for some appetizers because I've never had them.
We should have a garbage food party.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's
Talk
nothing
about
but
fun.
garbage food.
Absolutely.
Rent a porta
You bring
potty,
any
though.
vegetables in, you'll be thrown out on your
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, just go sit in a chair in the front.
Yeah, make sure you go rent a porta potty though on the side though, Randy.
Yeah, you don't want this clogging up the pipes.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Hefty Lefty says he bought the free throw line a Rolls Royce. Huh? Oh, this is left over from earlier. No. Okay. So what are we doing today anyway? What's going on? Have we started the show?
I think so. But well, you know what we didn't do, even though we talked lightly about Donnie and him giving us the bird.
We just kind of touched it.
Yeah,
we touched it.
we didn't
Talk
actually
about.
we actually didn't dive into why he is so upset, why he is so prone to irritation.
Oh no. We won't find out that. He's just an insufferable troll who's watching the Minnesota Timberwolves just blow every opportunity and chance. But you're going up against the league MVP who dropped 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists on you. I mean, what can you do there? So Donnie is just watching who he deemed as the next Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James. He says this is the next he. Well, no, he wasn't. Not in this series, at least. He is suddenly absolutely a mere mortal. And so I blame you, Donnie. I do for all the crap talk and trolling that you do. I think this is squarely on you because, boy, he was looking great. He was looking like, we were all going to have to agree with Donnie that, that
That's
Anthony Edwards was amazing. And
That's
stuff.
exactly right. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if he has met his match. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
you
he-
drank this Kool-Aid, Randy.
What?
You were saying Anthony Edwards is gonna power this team to a win.
I did. I thought for sure he had turned the corner, had discovered something new, and he was going to power this team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I said it. I was with Donnie in agreement. I thought the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma Thunder would be a great series, and boy, was I wrong. I just did not see the catastrophic meltdown of Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. I don't know what has happened. I don't know that it's been smothering defense. I don't know that it's been a great, stunning preparation by Oklahoma. It's just something's happened with Minnesota, and I can't put my finger on it.
This last game was a very close affair, 128 to 126 in the end. But yeah, I mean, man, then the Timberwolves needed that game so bad.
Yes, desperately.
And they blew it.
Absolutely. Anthony Edwards, I think the biggest takeaway for me, specifically from him, is that he needs to go in the lab and get a go-to safe shot. Like you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he'll attempt a three. It's not his thing, but he is just so clutch and he has so many readily accessible moves to him to get a two, just in the mid-range, just wherever it may be. Maybe he'll go and lay it up in Rudy Gobert's face, whatever it is. And Anthony Edwards does not. He has a go-to three-pointer, but by definition, when you're taking a 3-pointer, it is a high variance play. You are not guaranteed to have it. Even in a most successful time, you're making it about 40% of the time. And he simply does not have.
Dort had something to say about all that.
Certainly, yeah.
He contained and just kept Edwards from doing the things he usually does.
Absolutely. And the other thing here that I think is probably more indicative of how this series is going, Julius Randle just straight up quit last night.
Dort was all over him too.
Yeah, 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line after having just a mouthy game 3 and just saying, "Oh, we're home now." Julius Randle, where were you? 5
That was
points?
an exceptional game for Randle. That was not his normal game where he was just sinking all them threes. He just had a hot hand that day.
Yeah, and that is out of.
It's not his everyday.
You simply cannot allow it. Like Julius Randle, you are allowing them to affect you. You're allowing them to take advantage of you, specifically on matchups and everything else. When that is you, I need you to give me more. Like more than 5 points for an entire game is unacceptable in a game that was decided by 2 points.
They gave the Oklahoma City Thunder more. They gave them 23 turnovers. And that did not help either. 23, just a couple less turnovers, and the Timberwolves win this game.
Yeah, those are strong fundamentals that the Oklahoma City Thunder essentially start out every game 15-0 because of how much turnovers they are able to generate and how many easy baskets that they're able to get off of those turnovers. Like they are so fundamentally sound in that you are immediately working off from the tip of the game at a 15-0 deficit. And unfortunately, the Timberwolves lay into their worst tendencies and had a bunch of turnovers that in a 2-point game, all of this affects the outcome.
Beer Bob says the Timber Pups need to trade a couple of their top players and 3 or 4 of their next first-round draft picks for Kevin Durant, and that should help them get over the hump.
You think so, though?
There's a lot of people who I don't know about the actual math of everything, Beer Bob, but there's a lot of people who are saying that's exactly what Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves need is for Kevin Durant to come in there. Because Anthony Edwards has the greatest of respect for Kevin Durant. That's who he's patterned his game after. And, that this sort of veteran presence who's still a sniper, still a great player, could make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And we've seen that Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant have a very good, close relationship. We've seen them in the Olympics and how glowingly Anthony Edwards has reflected upon his time about being around Kevin Durant. Randy, I know that you're somebody who's bemoaned the fact that the Phoenix Suns have not had a center for eons now, even with the guy that they got out of the Bahamas. I forget his name now. But how get ready with me. Go down to France with me, Randy, because we might be having to trade in order to make salaries work. We might have to go down to France and get Rudy Gobert. And are you gonna?
He's not in France.
Are you gonna love yourself some Rudy Gobert?
Don't know if I want Rudy Gobert.
I don't want him.
Talk about no biscuits, all croissant. Look at that. Rudy Gobert, the Stifle Tower.
I don't think you're allowed to talk anymore for a while.
Oh, there's some wins for you.
Lost Taco says, did anyone here have an issue with the Timberwolves fan catching the ball with seconds left? Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, it was thrown out of bounds. What was he supposed to do? Let it hit him squarely in the face?
Right. And then it's like you can't be mad at John Hamm for catching the ball watching the Knicks play the other night. So, I mean, if the ball comes to him, what are you going to do? So what was the problem with him catching it?
Caught it, huh? John Hamm did?
Yeah, well, there was a chance for a play to be made on the ball, but Hamm just went, nope, and took the ball out. He's like, I'm a Knicks fan. What do you want from me?
Wow.
So yeah, give me a little more info on that, Lost Taco. 888-368-1580. Moist One says a sausage link wrapped in a chocolate chip cookie dough.
Sausage link?
Maybe
no.
That could be good.
I mean, is that a euphemism? Because otherwise, no.
No, like cook a chocolate chip cookie around a little hot dog. Salty and sweet could be good.
Could be.
There's very few scenarios where a cookie dough is not appetizing. That might be one of them for me. I don't know that I want that.
Sharp Cat says, who dips or puts ketchup on a hot dog?
What?
Lots of people. Who cares?
That's the only way I eat a hot dog.
Who cares if I was brought up eating a hot dog with ketchup? Other people have been eating with mustard. Other people eat it with any combination of that and some relish. Other people eat it. Who gives a good goddamn what you eat your hot dog with? Why do people care?
Right.
Jeffrey was so close. So close.
Educated Sports Dude says, going to the Diamondbacks game tomorrow, the Milkman versus Paul Skeens should be a great pitching matchup. Best $10 I spent for a ticket.
Hopefully he's
tell
working
you,
at 100% full fat and not 10% reduced. My God.
I feel as though Zach Gallen has got to have. Maybe he needs some time off. Maybe he needs to skip a start. I don't know what's going on with him, but man, if he doesn't show up in this game against Pittsburgh, you got to start thinking there's something wrong with him because it's just not been the usual Zach Gallen that we know of. And is Paul Skeens, he's going to bring his A game. All the guy does is go out there and throw fire. That's all he does. So just get ready, offense for the Diamondbacks, because the ball will be in the strike zone. It's can you see it and can you hit it?
Educated sports dude says there's an alternative to a hot dog or a brat. It's called a bird dog. It's a chicken strip on a bun topped with great things, beer, cheese, hot sauce, chipotle sauce. And he showed me the picture of it. And I'm like, dude, let me just tell you what happens. You put those out on the table. Then you put a bunch of hot dogs next to it and see which ones are gone and which ones are still sitting there at the end of the night. I like a nice chicken tender, but I don't need all that other stuff all around it.
Yeah, it's the bun of it all that's kind of throwing me off with the chicken tender, like fried on bread. It's
Moist One says, I always raw dog it. All righty. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
The perfect time to upgrade your carpet is right now. Get free carpet installation with the purchase of Home Decorators Collection Special Order Carpet. Give your floors a new, softer feel from timeless and trendy options with the performance to support everyday life. Refresh your carpet today with the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 1st, 2025. Receive free basic carpet installation with the purchase of Home Decorators Collection Special Order Carpet. Excludes stock carpet.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
When you need help, 211 Arizona is just one call or click away. This free service connects you with vital resources across Arizona. Housing and shelter resources that improve or save lives. Utility assistance, food support, heat relief, and more. Speak with one of our live operators in English or Spanish. Simply call 211 or visit 211arizona.org for resources near you. We're here to help in your time of need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
It's the bone-crushing hits. The searing sounds of training camp. Come on, knock their ass back. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. Soon, the new recruits will show up for minicamp. And then it's down to business in training camp. When it comes to the NFL, we talk about it. We're 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. your home for the NFL.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So let me get you caught up on what's happening live right now. Glasses straight here. Let's see. The Stars and the Oilers just began, and they are zilch at this very moment in the first. At the waning moments of the first for the Pacers and Knicks, Pacers up 31-29. So things are very close right there. It's a high-scoring, low defense affair. It looks like so far. Man, I tell you what, the Knicks need it, just like the Timberwolves needed it. Didn't get it. So let's see what happens.
So odd that both teams are allergic to winning at home. It seems thus far, and apparently also the New York Knicks. The game doesn't start until they are down 20 points in any point of the game. Like, if you want to know,
that's what
this is my official scientific coaching strategy.
That was Phil's comments about the Atlanta Braves. At a certain point, they have to be bouncing back. So I guess this is the same thing for these guys.
Yeah, the Indiana Pacers. If I'm the head of their defense, like the assistant defensive coach, I'm saying, guys, the moment we get to 19 points above the Knicks, we do whatever they do. If they miss a layup, we miss a layup. If they make a three, at that point we can make a three, because we are never getting to that pivotal number of 20 points of being ahead of them, because we cannot allow it, or else the Knicks feast in that weird scenario.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the game hasn't really began yet, but I'll tell you what, the fans, I love this pettiness. I love pettiness between fans. And this was a sign in Indianapolis outside of the arena. It says, Pacer fans, $20 to park. Knick fans, $100.
I do like that. That's hilarious.
Which, if you're the guy standing there, I'm sure you've been told by your boss. It's like, okay, listen, if they pull up and you see they're wearing Knicks jerseys, it's $100. If they pull up and they're not wearing any jerseys, you say, hey, are you guys Pacer fans? And they say, yes. You got them to say that they were Pacer fans, and that's worth the $80 that they were able to save by lying. So I love that level of pettiness. But is that even legal? I guess.
Why not? Yeah, it's
nothing that stops you from doing that.
It's discrimination against a fan. So I mean, it's not. It's hey, you can be whatever you are. As long as you're a Knicks fan, you get charged 5 times, which actually is crazy, because a lot of New York Knicks fans are if they want to go see their Knicks play in this playoffs, they're usually going on the road, because it's so much cheaper. Like, looking at these ticket prices, Game 6. Well, if it happens, I guess, because we're still potential for it not to. Tickets are going to start as low as $209. On Thursday night in Madison Square Garden, they are starting for as low, like, just get in, $458.
Now, understand, though, that for the cheaper tickets in Indianapolis, you have to get an airline ticket. You have to get a hotel. And there's an investment there. And then you got to, if you rent a car, it'll cost you $100 to park. So all the way around, it's not a break even. It's more expensive when they go to Indianapolis.
I think it's closer whenever you're like looking at get in price, but especially for say you're Timothy Chalamet, who's like #1 Knicks fan right now, apparently. Like, if he's getting on the court seats, like, I can't imagine that the airline ticket and all that stuff isn't going to be at a cheaper cost in Indiana than it would be for Madison Square Garden, where they're going to be charging you like what, $5,000 to just sit on the court for one game, possibly to see your Knicks lose. Oh, horrible.
By the way, it is in Indianapolis. That is where they're
yes.
Yeah, it's the same place. Anyway, so the Pacers have allowed Tyrese Halliburton's dad to come back. Only thing, there's a rule: you have to stay in the suite.
Yeah, stay in the suite.
Stay in the suite. You can't sit on the floor, Jack.
You can't come out. You can't you touch the players. You can't get in anybody's faces. You just eat the hot dogs in the suite.
Yeah, there are worse punishments in life to endure.
And I wonder, though, if they win, is he allowed to come running down, or no? You got to stay in the suite.
Probably maximum access would be like locker room.
If they let him come down on the floor, that is shame on them, because this has already caused a situation. And look, if I'm the son, I'm telling him, look, Dad, no, you stay in the suite. You can meet me outside the locker room. We'll go to dinner, whatever. But you don't let him on the floor. You don't let him out there with other players. He's proven that he can't do it.
And he's a menace to society.
Absolute damn menace.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so he's going to have to just stay in your box, is what they're saying. So, anyway, so I mean, I'm sure that makes Tyrese Halliburton happy to have his dad nearby.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
He certainly hasn't played. I mean, maybe. Yeah, he's slowly dwindled away from like where he's normally performing, and we'll see.
So, all right. So it is on between the Knicks and the Pacers, and also between the Oilers and the Stars. I don't know. It's a weird thing to root on the Stars.
Yeah, it just feels odd, right? Like there's no real connection there. It's Dallas, kind of, first time that they're in prominence, in a popular way, and otherwise you get a rematch of last year, which people for some reason don't like rematches in Super Bowls. I don't know why. Maybe it's just,
it doesn't bother me. It bothers other people.
I know hockey's not the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying specifically in Super Bowls, everybody hated that the Chiefs and Eagles were playing again.
No, I just want to see the best teams in there.
Yeah, agree.
To have a best chance, the best game. And it did. Listen, as a Colts fan, you think it would bother me, but it never bothered me when the Patriots were dominant through all that time and winning all them Super Bowls. I'm just like, no, let's just see some good football. And if nothing else, you were seeing the best player in the game in a long time dominate. I mean, what more do you want? I'm tired of seeing the same team. Oh, you're tired of seeing really
greatness.
Excellent football and play? Oh, okay. Clearly, you're not a real fan. A real fan would want to see the best possible product you can get. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it ends up in lopsided, and you end up with a bleep stump, and that's sometimes a little bit boring. But in general, man, you should always, if your team's out, you should always just want the best possible game your eyeballs can get. And Patriots were responsible for quite a bit of that. I mean, listen, I was rooting for the Atlanta Falcons to beat Tom Brady, and it looked like they had just stolen his lunch money.
Yeah,
and
I stopped watching the Super Bowl.
But I knew I did. I was at a party and I said, "Don't ever count out Tom Brady." Everybody laughed at me, and at the end of it, I looked like a genius. And I also one of the kids there at the party bet me a car that there's no way that the Patriots would come back. It was a Matchbox car. He's a kid.
Yeah, I know it.
So, and I was like, I'll take that bet. And I won the car. I won a car because of Tom Brady.
And you knew as soon as you got into overtime, you knew where it was going. You knew like, just unless the coin falls on the Falcons' way, like that the Patriots are going to win this. So it was just it was a matter of getting to overtime.
It was an uphill thing. It was never a guarantee, but you never felt they were out of it as long as Tom Brady had the ball, even though they were down by quite a bit. It wasn't insurmountable, but it was a hell of a thing, wasn't it?
And also specifically for the Patriots too, the one nice thing about them being in Super Bowls, they always had an entertaining Super Bowl. Like there was like whether they won or lost, that didn't matter to the fact that they put on a very close game. They had if you were a defensive guy, they had the Rams Super Bowl, the most recent Rams Super Bowl. If you're an offensive person, they had that Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl that they lost. That was just the most points scored in Super Bowl history. I mean, and everything in between. It was very fun to watch.
No, I mean, listen, I'm always glad to see good play. That's all you can hope for is a good game. That's why I've got Sunday ticket. I mean, I could live without seeing my Colts play lately. So I don't get Sunday ticket. I get Sunday ticket. So make sure I always have access to the best possible matchup I can get. And if that matchup happens to be a game I wasn't expecting, I go to the multi-view and I find that damn thing. So yeah, give me the good stuff. That's all I'm saying. 888-368-1580. So the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday, just hanging on by a thread, were able to come back and shut out the Florida Panthers, which that doesn't happen very often. But I mean, I wouldn't say they're still in it, but hey, at least the games continue.
First win in 14 playoff attempts. First win in 14 playoff attempts for Carolina.
How's that possible? How they get Florida? Here?
No, first win in the playoffs.
You mean in the Eastern Conference Final?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's a very key point.
Yeah. In the in this part
in
because
the Eastern Conference Final. The last time they won, Rod Brindamore, Rick Brindamore, what's his name? Rod Brindamore, the coach of Hurricanes. He was a player for the Hurricanes and scored the winning goal the last time that the Carolina Hurricanes won in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were 0-14.
Well, now they're 1-14, and they'll be going home soon enough.
Well, maybe
this is not going to end well for them. It'll be the Florida Panthers and somebody.
They just they do not have the chutzpah. They don't have the chutzpah to beat. They got to have the chutzpah to beat Florida. They don't have the chutzpah.
Nope. So it looks like the Pacers have understood the assignment, and at the end of the first quarter, they're up by 8, 43-35 over the Knicks.
Just don't make it 20. Do whatever you do, stay away.
So congratulations to Travis Hunter. He got married over the weekend.
Oh, no kidding.
Married his fiance, Leanna Lenny?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever. And everybody's making a big deal. Is like he surprised her with a gift, and so they pull this thing back, and underneath was the Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 Brabus 800, also known as a G-Wagon.
Wow,
that is a $700,000 vehicle.
Well, he's got the money.
Yeah, does he yet?
Yeah,
because he hasn't done anything yet.
He's got the money.
Yeah. The NIL stuff.
NIL.
Like, well, what? But yeah, that's
he's got the cash.
That's a lot of money for just an SUV.
Yeah. Well, also the other interesting thing, apparently, rumor has it, who can confirm these things truly unless you're TMZ, apparently got married with no prenup.
No, that is true. He went, he raw dogged the prenup. He just,
wow.
Yeah. Huge. Now, Travis Hunter is a legit, genuine, just nice, smiley, positive, happy person. She will soon cure him of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Randy, would you, if you were a high, if you're the Juan Soto of the New York Mets, you still wouldn't do a prenup?
No.
Wow.
No.
Against it. Wow.
No, if you love somebody, you love somebody. And I haven't had the experiences that some people have had, but I don't believe them. Now, why get married if you have to have a prenup is my philosophy there.
So the other way of looking at it is 100% of every relationship you've ever been in, except for the one you're in now, has ended in total failure.
Not true. Look, I'm still with you.
So, but we're still together. So the point is, if you're dealing, money changes people. So yeah, a prenup is a great idea for both. Just to say, hey, everything's nice and happy now. But boy, I chew my food wrong, or you don't like the way the fork clinks in my teeth after 15, 20 years. I'd hate to lose 85% of my things. So here's a little piece of paper where you get yours, I get mine, and here's how we'll work out the math. So
no judgment. I don't understand. I personally don't understand people that have all of this money and choose to get married. And then why get married? You don't have the hassle of having the prenup. Why get, why not just continue on as you were? And then if things happen, you part friends, nanu, and peace be with you.
I worry, I don't know, it's just the what if for me, right? The security of say, I'm not going to go Miss Kim, but let's say Cecil has had it, Randy, with the dog food that you selected for the last time. Yeah,
clearly
Cecil,
he hasn't.
Yeah,
so.
But he's done. He's packing his bags, and the court finds that he gets half of your stuff. Are you going to give him the microphone or the camera? For me, it's I think whenever you're worth that much, I can give you about 5 million reasons why you might want a prenup.
Normal people don't need prenups. People with a bleep ton of money should have prenups to protect both sides, because it also can protect the person who doesn't make as much money from being left destitute. I think that there is a common sense and a kind and compassionate way of doing a prenup that protects one but also protects the other. And and then after that, that's off the table. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about that. And then that person's there with you because they love you and not for the money.
I agree with that 110.
King of Kitten says, if you love someone, you love someone. Set them free. Free, set them free.
It's giving
Thank you, Sting.
Yeah, it's giving the times of we went to the farm uptown. It's not really giving like, let them be happy. It's more so, the fish went to the big ocean in the sky.
Glendale Mullet says, does Travis's wife play both ways too? That might be why she got the G-Wagon. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it. They've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads. Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see, day or night. They move and stop quickly, too. So keep your distance whenever you see them and stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time. Like right now. Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Pacers up 49 to 42 over the Knicks right now, and the Oilers are up 1-0 over the Stars. They are still in the first over there. 888-368-1580. So today we are 100 days away from the first game of the NFL season. We ran out of time, so tomorrow I saw this cool thing in CBS Sports: 100 different things that we can talk about that has to do with the NFL as we are looking forward to the new season.
All right.
But the NFL had OTAs start today for 20 teams, and then tomorrow 5 teams will have their OTAs, and then I think everybody will be on OTAs. I know the Cardinals start with theirs tomorrow. The Broncos started today. I don't know when the Colts start, or if they probably already started. They have nothing else to do in Indianapolis, so they probably started 3 weeks ago. So yeah, the OTAs have begun. So here are the rules. You can have no live contact, but all non-contact offense versus defensive drills are allowed. You can even do 11 on 11 there. It's the closest thing you can get right now. So everybody's getting back out there and starting to work. Boy, that's the thing. Now, I get it for the NFL, but my son, who's going to be playing in his senior year of high school football.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
No sooner is the school year over, he's already working out and practicing with the football team starting next week.
Yeah.
Seems too early.
Well,
Now,
they're doing conditioning and stuff like that, right? I mean, it's not.
No, they're out there. They're out there doing stuff. Now, he lives in a town that is not super duper hot, so it's not like he's here in the metro area.
Are they in pads and everything already?
Probably. This coach is a numbnut. But you know, so they're going to be already hitting it like June 2nd.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I get it for the NFL. That's your job. You get paid millions of dollars to do it, but
yeah,
man, high schools, let the kids have a few weeks to go swimming or something. My gosh. The flag football players are not happy. They're not happy. See, here's the thing. There was already flag football players, you know, and now they're feeling like they've been tossed aside by the fact that the NFL has unanimously approved for the players to participate. And so what'll happen is I guess that Team USA football will choose people to come play. Now, that is supposed to give the flag football players a chance to try out and get to go play. But we all know what'll happen.
Right.
They're going to go crazy just taking the best wide receivers and quarterbacks and they can get their hands on.
They're going to be
each team
tossed aside.
Right. So, and now the players have to want to play.
Yeah.
So if they say, hey, we want Jalen Hurts, and Jalen's like, no, thank you. Okay, we want Josh Allen. And he's like, no, thank you. Hey, we want Patrick Mahomes. He's like, yeah, okay. And so then he comes running out. And so that's how that's going to work. So you can't just force the NFL players to play.
Right.
But here's the thing. These poor people, these poor guys have been playing, the flag football. And they're like, nah, this isn't fair. We didn't need NFL players. We can beat these guys ourselves. And it's really not up to anybody anymore because the NFL wants this. Now, Roger Goodell comes out and says, oh, listen, USA football is going to select the Olympic team, not the NFL. Really? Can we just take a quick look at who's on the board of USA football? Oh, handpicked by Roger Goodell. 3 to 5 members of that board will be handpicked by the puffy boss, Roger Goodell, to run stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah, you think there might be a slight bias on who they might pick on that one?
He's like, I'm totally hands off. I couldn't make a phone call and just immediately get anything I want anytime I want, and then make them make chicken noises while I do it. Yeah, you could anytime you want.
Well, to be fair, even though yes, I think that
to be fair,
for the flag football players, I understand. Like you have, like essentially you're getting outsourced. You've made your bones in this. Like there's a small percentage of like skills that aren't necessarily transferable from this to the NFL and their style of tackle football. I get it. But you are talking about the best of the best athletes in the world on the football field, getting into something that's not exactly from tic-tac-toe to checkers. We're talking checkers to maybe, I don't know, something whatever's closest to chess. I don't know, but it's something to where they are going to be starting out at a disadvantage anyways. The fact that you have people biased towards leaning towards NFL players, I don't think is going to matter too much.
There's a guy, Daryl Duchette, who's been on the U.S. national team, and he's led them to 4 global championships. And, he's like the star of the flag football sport.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's upset about this. And he says, it's entirely 2 different games. You can't compare flag football to tackle football. Sure, but these guys know the following: how to run a route, how to catch a ball, how to throw a ball, and what more do you need?
And how to run extremely fast.
Like, yeah, even if you're a cornerback, like that feels transferable. Maybe if you've got some linebackers out there who like are supposed to be really good at tackling and transferring that to like hand-eye coordination to grab somebody's flag, maybe that's different. But every other position feels completely transferable.
He says, listen, we just don't want to get forgotten. You're totally going to be forgotten. I'm sorry.
You weren't even remembered to begin with, my guy.
Really, really sorry. We just learned your name today.
Yes, exactly.
So, dims the brakes. I really feel sorry for you there. And, well,
Hey,
you can keep on being the man in the off season when it's not the Olympics. The rest of the time,
out, man.
I do feel for you, Daryl, but dims the brakes.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1960, Baltimore Orioles catcher Clint Courtney became the first catcher to use the big knuckleball glove, an innovation of manager Paul Richards. The larger mitt, which had a 45-inch circumference, helped knuckleballer Hoyt Wilhelm go the distance in Baltimore's 3-2 victory at Yankee Stadium in a game that didn't feature a wild pitch or a pass ball.
How about that?
Which is not normal when you got a knuckleballer working, right?
That's true. As a catcher, we had a guy that could throw a knuckleball, and a lot of times as a catcher, you would go change your glove, and they have these gloves made specifically for knuckleball pitchers. They're larger, they're more receptive to your hand, and it's almost like a softball glove, like a pillar.
So I guess people saw these comically ginormous gloves, and sports writers just started writing about them and making fun of them, saying that's more like a butterfly net than a catcher's mitt. And a couple of years later, Major League Baseball, they're like, here's the rules on size of glove. So no more than 38 inches in circumference.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about that is that's smaller and probably noticeably smaller, but still 38 inches on a glove is pretty big.
Large glove. Yeah. Yeah.
That is, that should be all you need, right?
Back in the day when the Necro brothers were still playing, Phil Necro, who I think played the longest of the Necro brothers, when he was playing,
spelled Necro.
It's Neiko.
Oh, okay.
Neikro.
Yeah,
Necro.
I just wanted to get a ruling on that. But go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. All right. But anyway, he would his catcher would get a modified first baseman's mitt because he had the knuckleball. The thing if you've not faced a knuckleball, it really does dance around in the sky. You don't know where it's going to go. It has this weird movement to it. Sometimes it's an up and down thing. Sometimes it's sort of a diagonal thing. Sometimes it's just all over the place, depending on how you throw the ball.
So that's why they wanted giant gloves, because they never knew where it would go. But this guy was like, ooh, I can get it if I got a lighter glove.
Well, and 99% of the time, the catcher would have to block the ball. There's no real catching it. You just use your body as an instrument to try to stop the ball. You know what I mean?
Did they make the knuckleball illegal, or just nobody does it?
Nobody does.
It's hard to master, and nobody really does it anymore. The fork ball is a variation of the knuckleball, because of its rotation. And what happens is it comes in at one level and then it just kind of falls off the table. And that's why the knuckle, and you can throw it harder.
Where's
it's
the
gotta
table
hit.
involved? Where's the?
Well, the table is the strike zone, and
I thought there was an actual table involved with a fork, maybe a knife.
It's called it. No,
napkins.
There's no dining room tables on a baseball field. No.
It's very confusing sometimes when you explain
sometimes.
things.
Well, yeah.
Jeffrey, we forgot a wheel of sports.
We didn't forget.
I thought you said you wanted to do it next time.
I've sort of thought about it. I didn't
forgot.
commit. It wasn't a promise.
Wasn't a forgetful
I
thing.
was wearing a promise ring because of the wheel of
No,
sports.
I don't think you were.
Hefty Lefty says, as a soccer goalkeeper, knuckleball shots were the worst to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Moisman says Matt Waldron throws a knuckle. He was in the big leagues last year.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, well, that'd be fun to watch.
Does everybody really want the wheel of sports to come back? Because
People are clamoring.
it's like
There
one
are
person
riots.
mentioned it in passing, and now you're clamoring.
I haven't
People
heard
are
anybody
honking.
clamor.
They
There's
are
been no-
they are taking to the station with pitchforks and knives.
Damn good thing we're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow in your radios at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Bye-bye.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.